Let's go. Let's go. Early evening. Let's get it on. Oh, sugar. Let's get it on. How we doing today? Good day, everybody. Hopefully you had a great day. It was a nice, cool day today because, we have all this weather going on. They're using the goddamn weather weapons on us, goddamn it. We have an earthquake in places that don't quake. We got a whole bunch of strange things just happening in the world today. I don't know what's going on, but it is a lot of stuff going on today. And it's just wild and crazy. What's up in the clouds? The Panelverse. Good day to you. I appreciate all of y'all, man. What are we going to do? As we're gonna get into some things. Say, what's up, Tequila? Good day to you. We're gonna get into some things. Shout out to Sharon and Trump. That's what's up. We definitely gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about a couple of things today. We gotta talk about the DC situation that's going on. Trump is doing this thing in DC. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it something that is needed to move the nation forward? Is it something that is going to turn into a trend that we're going to have to keep on progressing in all the troubled states? I don't know. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about Trump and Zelensky. We got to have a conversation about that. Also, I want to have a conversation with y'all about Tory Lanez and the Attorney General. He had a conversation about Tory Lanez and the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation. Thank you so much, Panelverse. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. What's up, HT Ball One? We're also going to talk about Amanda Seals, one crazy black FBA lady versus 20 black conservatives. I thought that was a little bit wild as well. We're going to have a conversation about that. So y'all let me know where y'all want to start. Maybe we start with that. They now making a robot to replace women to give birth. That's what scientists are working on right now. They are working on robots giving birth to children from beginning to end. I don't know who's gonna. You tried it? Saliva. I don't know who's gonna impregnate the goddamn robot, but clearly we know men don't mind picking a thing and put it in anywhere. So they are. They said longer. So y'all let me know, where do we want to start this show at? Are we going to start it? Oh, that one, the 20 versus 1 is wild. So where we want to start at? We're going to start it with Trump DC? Are we going to start it with Zelensky and Trump meeting? Bubba Homeschool, what you going to get? That is crazy that y'all talking about y'all going to turn a robot into a baby mama. That is insanity. Y'all men are horrible, goddamn. We're going to start with the AI robot baby mamas getting pregnant. What y'all want to start with? Y'all let me know. Start typing in the chat. Let me know where y'all want to start the show with. So I kind of do want to start the show with the AI robot type situation. Is kind of crazy to me. It's crazy how AI is just getting started, and now we're talking about pregnancy subscriptions. Jabba, it is wild. Because you remember, Jabba, when we was having a conversation, I believe over there in where's the red light district at? Where is the red light district at? TV trucking. Shout out to TV trucking. No more, hopefully. Damn. 6 kids? Shout out to your wife. She is an awesome young lady. God damn. Where is it? Where's the red light district? But I remember in the red light district, they all Amsterdam. Thank you, HT Ball One. I remember we was doing it and somebody had sent it to me and they was showing that they had a brothel full of sex dolls that men was going to pay whatever money for these goddamn sex dolls. Not even real humans. They was prostituting out sex dolls. That is kind of insane. Taiwan as well. Get out the kitchen with that blanket because you're going to knock over something. So I think that is kind of crazy. Now we went from sex dolls to now it is moving towards robot baby mamas. Robot baby mamas. That is kind of crazy. But at the same time, we've been hearing a lot of conversations over the past few years that men been saying, hey, you take away that, what do you have left? All you all is a baby maker. So I'm guessing now these men, these rim bros, these red pill incel, these manosphere, these no good suckers are going to be appreciative that now they don't need a woman anymore. Right? Because clearly, what up, Brooklyn Larry? Clearly, they never wanted one. They said she was only good for one thing. Y'all think I'm lying? It ain't me. I promise you. Look at this. I don't know how far it's going to go, but women no longer need it. In China, of course, scientists have created an android capable of carrying a child from conception to birth instead of a woman. I think that is absolutely insane. I think that is insane. That's crazy, Byron Turner. That is crazy. Somebody actually with the joke for that. That is insane. Brooklyn Larry says it's just more for him. That's it. Y'all want to go ahead and pop off goddamn AI robots and dolls? Hey, more for him. TV Trucking, I don't know who else is going to do something like this. Like, why would you? I mean, if I just don't understand where are we going with this thing? Where is this thing going? I mean, we got robots, but we've been hearing for a while now that these men been saying, like, hey, they don't need no woman. They don't need a woman to cook. They don't need a woman to clean. They don't need a woman to talk to. They don't need a woman to be funny. They don't need a woman to play sports. They don't need a woman to go to work. They don't want a woman for anything besides, and then go about your business. They rather hang out with their homies. Where my homies up to no good. That's where they rather hang out with. They rather hang out with their boys sweating and playing basketball and wrestling, playing football. They rather be wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu on the floor in between their homies' legs and get manhandled by another man and make sure he take his back and rough him up. That's what they rather be doing. Brooklyn Lazar, we're going to be seeing documentaries about this. Damn, conscious moron, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but it's looking like it can be somewhat of a reality. The Demolition Man showed this as well. Yeah, I agree. But is this a good or bad thing? TV Trucking, you know that's what they want to do. Because for some strange reason, they don't think that the softness of a woman is awesome. I'd rather hug on a woman any single day. I'd rather talk to a woman any day. I'd rather see a woman make a woman blush. I'd rather have conversations with a woman. I'd rather flirt with a woman. I do not know what kind of meaningful conversation that they keep having with men every single day that they want to do that. I don't get it. I'm inspired by beautiful women. I don't get it. I don't understand it. However, they would say I'm the one that's a little, yeah, still all they want to do is hang around men all day. They want to wrestle with men. They want to take off their shirts and sweat around men. I don't get it. all they do is try to convince their homies how to lose their girlfriend. They say, hey, don't you worry about it. Go ahead and be stoic and emotional, unavailable to your woman. Don't talk to her. Tell her to shut up. Call her fat. They tell her to do all the wrong things. They tell you how, essentially, to lose your woman. This is what the red pill teaches you. It teaches you all of the things that they teach. Can I get up to one in the cup, please? They teach you all of the things to lose your woman. That's what the red pill shows you. And it even shows in a goddamn and a fearless leader, Myron Gaines, recently. Did he just lose his girlfriend to a goddamn rollerblader with LED lights in it? Like he's 12 years old? Come on. Even I don't know if the love of money destroys it, but for sure, the love of men destroys relationship with women. That's what's going on with all these red pillars, in my opinion. The love of men is destroying a relationship with women. We see it time and time again. All these red pill men losing their wives, losing their girlfriends, because they want to believe in this red pill ideology that does not work in real life. You cannot implement their theology into real life because it doesn't work, because you're dealing with real human beings. Women have feelings and men have feelings as well. Men have feelings as well. They keep trying to act like you're not supposed to have feelings. They keep acting like, if y'all, you know what's so crazy about it? They be trying to use Batman and Superman and all these goddamn comic book kind of everything but real life. They said, what you saying? A woman could have Superman and she want to date Batman. Shut up. Why? Because Batman is so mysterious. That's why. No, Batman and Superman are both mysterious. We don't know where the F Superman came from. It's a goddamn alien, for God's sake. Ain't nothing more mysterious than a goddamn alien. What they mean to say Clark Kent versus Batman, but they too stupid to even realize what they are saying. Or maybe Clark Kent versus Bruce Wayne. Most women will probably choose Bruce Wayne over Clark Kent. Maybe that's what they mean. But Batman and Superman, I think that's a stupid comparison to have. But this is what the red pillars use all the time. Every single time I hear them talk about this nonsense. And really, that you have to just be a man that's willing to grow and move further in life and be somebody that has emotional intelligence. You got to learn how to do that. It's not something that's given to you. You got to learn that. That's a skill. And it's not only a skill that you could gain a lot from your relationship. You could also gain a lot from your job as well. If you have emotional intelligence, it's a very good skill. Right, Jabba. I agree 100. I agree 100. So this whole idea that men not supposed to have emotional intelligence is nonsense. That's how you get to the bag. The more emotional intelligence you have, the more money you're probably going to make. It ain't just for a relationship. Because our whole lives as humans is about relationship. It's about your network. It's about the people that you add to your community. So you need emotional intelligence to deal with these different personalities and put them in the same room, famous nobodies. But I digress. Who am I to say? I don't know. You definitely need to learn. A lot of men need to learn how to read the room. And this is why they don't understand when they need to learn how to read their house as well, right? Because when they walk inside their house, they don't understand how to read the room. They don't even know that their girl is upset or their woman is not feeling right. They don't even understand that. They don't understand when their baby just woke up. They don't understand when their daughter just need a hug. Or their wife just need a nice little squeeze on the butt. Come here, babe. Let me squeeze your butt real quick. Come here. See, she smiled. She smiled with annoyance, but she smiled nonetheless. Thank you, Petalverse. Can y'all please let me see they being disrespectful with the likes and all that. That's crazy. Hit the like button, hit the share button. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all hanging out with your boy. Thank you. As we're just gonna have good conversation, hanging out, chill. I want to get y'all thoughts and opinions on things and shit. Things like that. Try not to curse. I don't do so good all the time, but I'm doing my best. I am doing my best at it. All right, let's go with this. Did y'all see the Amanda Seals? That's how you pronounce her name. Amanda Seals versus the Black Conservatives. We're gonna watch just a quick little thing and have our conversation about it. I want to know what's y'all thoughts about it. If you hear me. Let me see. I want to use this one. Yeah, I like this one. Let's see what's being said.
To embrace a victim mentality, because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity. Do not bring up
Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby. Please.
I said the Lord's name in vain. The Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah. You know who helped her? White people.
You know who?
He said, who helped her? What? He cannot be serious with that one. He couldn't. You know what? Let's let it play. Let's let it play. My fault. Let's let it play. Let me see.
Who helped her?
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
Come on in.
No, you know who helped her?
God.
People who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
it's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
No, sir, that's simply not true. If that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power when they do not have the power.
Because their culture, Black culture, is toxic. The Black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the Black home. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
What's up, Reese? This is kind of crazy to me. Pumps in the dump. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people are saying craziness like Black culture is toxic. I don't understand why is that such a big BS talking point for Black conservatives, that everything about Black culture is toxic. Why do Black conservatives only focus on the very small percentage that's out there doing crimes? Why they try to act as if that is the majority of Black folks out here? The majority of Black folks is not out here committing crimes. Majority of the Black folks have good jobs. Majority of the people that's in the goddamn projects are not goddamn criminals. What's up, Corinne? Good day to you. What's up, Henry? What you talking about, Henry? Like, we understand that, like, we do have our crime. Yes. We understand that. But don't say that is our culture. Our culture is not crime. Our culture is not shooting. Our culture is not drug dealing. The biggest drug dealers are not Black folks. It might be glorified as it is. It might be shown in most of the music videos and movies as we are the biggest drug dealers, but we are not the biggest drug dealers. I don't understand why we get the rap for horrible crimes, but the goddamn mafia, it just sweeps under the rug, like, and they some of the greatest men in history. And they do the same goddamn nonsense, the same damn degeneracy, blowing up houses, shooting people in the street, kidnapping people. Like, how is this possible? I do not understand this, not at all, not even in the slightest. Shout out to the Cash App. It says, Is it a crime to be unapologetically black? Answer that. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is it a crime to be unapologetically black? I want to know. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Always holding me down. Thank you so much. You also said Sharon used to hoop while he was working his farm. That was for the other day. I want to know. Put a 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is it a crime to be unapologetically black? 0. Because I'm highly confused about what is actually going on. And we just go with Brooklyn, like, come on. We just go with Queens. Come on. We know black folks couldn't even go to goddamn Cross Bay. We know what was happening over there in Cross Bay with all the goddamn John Gotti. I don't know why they act like as if because it is just so much more graphic when they put us on a big screen doing the same thing that they doing. When Scarface did it and he was out there just ripping and running in the streets, doing whatever he do, selling cocaine, it was like, yes, Tony Montana is a great man. You see, he had cojones. He was a smart man. He went from a kitchen cook to running a whole empire in Miami. They never called him a degenerate. They never said this is horrible culture. This is toxic culture. Him sniffing cocaine. Him shooting his homie because he had sex with his sister. Nobody look at Tony Montana as some goddamn degenerate. They look at him as a damn hero. How come when we look at our people, it's some goddamn is a crime every time and he's just a degenerate? John Gotti, a hero. We keep going down the line. Well, if it's Nino Brown or Scarface, either one. Both of those are made up characters, but guess what? One that seems so realistic, and this is how black people act. But Tony Montana, man, oh man, that was just such a great movie. This is insane. I did not see that one yet. AC Ball 1. So this is the thing that I just don't. What? Shout out to my baby girl. Hold on, let me see, because StreamYard done changed everything up. Hold on.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to my girl Natasha Bishop. Are you a black radical like Seals, Mr. Bracey? I don't know. Cause then maybe you can explain it to me. I don't know if I'm radical, but I try to make sense of everything that I see. And one thing I do know is that black people do not have a toxic culture. Everybody has a good and bad section of their culture. Every culture. And for some reason, black folks negative culture, it seems like that's our only culture. We only have the negative side. People forget about the dancing. They even try to make the dancing side a goddamn toxic culture. Like us dancing ain't cool. Like break dancing ain't come from black folks. Like creating music didn't come from black. Like, come on. Like we created jazz, country, rock and roll, hip hop. We made 4 genres of music. R&B, soul music. We got 6 different genres of music, and only one that they want to try to keep us focused on is the gangster rap version of the music that we make. I find that very interesting. They only want to focus on the gangster rap version of the music that we created and forget about all the rest. And they say our culture is toxic. What about all the? I didn't even bring up country music. Didn't we not invent that as well? Right, Reese. because they want to focus on the negative aspect of so-called twerking, because everything has a yin and a yang. They got the spiritual version of twerking and dancing and gyrating, and then they got the strip club version of twerking, gyrating, and whining. It's two different sides. Let me see what else this crazy man has said. I just don't understand how they keep saying that all our culture is toxic. Is it a certain toxic part of our culture? Yes, that is a strong possibility. Yes, we do have the gangster rap stuff. Yeah, that's pretty toxic. It's all about killing. I get it. However, we have at least 6 different other genres of music that Black people created. So this whole idea that that's the only music that is toxic is insane to me. What up, Slimmy? Good day, sir. Good day to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, Slimmy. Slimmy, this is insane to me that people are still saying today that Black culture is toxic. I don't understand why they keep saying Black culture is toxic. Why are they only focusing on what part of our culture and saying that the whole culture is toxic? Yes, gangster rap is toxic, but guess what? Blues ain't toxic. Rock and roll ain't toxic. Country music ain't toxic. R&B ain't toxic. It's simpish, but it ain't toxic. We have a plethora of things that Black people has created as a culture that is not toxic. The only thing they want to focus on is gangbanging, which Black folks ain't the originators of gangs. We know that for a fact. Black folks ain't the originator of gangs. What about the Hells Angels? What about the KKK? It's plenty of other gangs out there in the world. What about MS-13? Why do these Black conservatives only want to focus on gangster rap or drill rap and say that is all of Black American culture? Yes, we will all agree that part of it is horrible. It is what it is. But to say that the whole culture is toxic is a wild statement to say, and I'm sorry. It's something wrong with these Black conservatives that keep on pushing this agenda. And I feel a certain way about it. And I don't understand it. Shout out to the cast. I said, why do people use words like radical and militant too? It's a good question. What's up, yo, Don? It's a good question. Also, why they use it to describe us? Okay, I got you. Let me read it all together. Why do people use words like radical and militant to describe us? Slippy, you ain't never lied. The police, the most notorious gang. Government, most notorious gang. Notorious. Shicey, don't be scared. Don't be scared. It is what it is. It's just the truth. That, a lot of these conservatives, for some reason, man, like when Black folks talk about Black folks, people just love to see it. Nobody, like, they scared to just say, hey, this is a bad part of our culture. But as a whole, our culture is not toxic at all. Matter of fact, it's the most emulated culture of all time. People love the way how we dress. People love the way how we communicate. People love our slang. People love our music. They keep trying to trick us out of our own bag. For some reason, they keep saying that it's toxic, and then they try to take it from us. This is like it's like, when is this game plan going to stop? It has to stop now. But we're going to let it see if there's any more to this. This is crazy to me.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is going to work if y'all are just going to sit here and make up.
It's
not going to work. No, it's a debate. Has to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off founded lies based in conservatism.
Misinformation. Remember they did the misinformation thing all summer where everything conservative did. They said
you're carrying a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and non-Jewish people. But let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Refuse.
Damn, this looks like one of the goddamn panels. Oh, so she called herself a black radical? I agree 100% next level. I agree 100%. His shekel chain was hilarious. Shout out to the hood conservative. So like I just think you know, next level move forward, he says they idolize other races but villainize black people, and it's usually for the same exact thing, which is the weird part about it. And then they see a white boy or a white or any other culture appropriate our culture. They don't even, they just like, that's okay. It is what it is. No, it ain't. It's just as toxic then. Machine Gun Kelly should be known just as toxic. But nobody look at him as toxic. It's weird. And I don't know why is it so easy to villainize black folks, so easy on the media, and it's so easy to make money off of villainizing black folks, especially for black folks to do it for them, because now you got the whole narrative: if a black person do it, then it ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way that most of these black conservatives can actually believe the words that they are saying when they literally themselves, they be outside dressed as what they saying they disagree about. They outside with tattoos all over their goddamn body. They look like hip hop artists themselves. They wearing the same exact clothes the hip hop artists wearing, even though they saying that it's toxic. So why you not outside with some goddamn khakis and a tight polo shirt? I don't understand. If you love the other cultures so much, why are you not appropriating that? I feel you, Slimmy. I'm pretty sure he is kind of cool and down to earth. He too high to be anything else. He too high to be anything else, Slimmy. But it's just always been a weird thing to me that people just cannot allow that black folks, we have two sides to us as well. We have the ghetto version of black folks, and we got the well-to-do version of black folks, just like every other race. We are not a monolith. We are like the only ones that my black culture is only gangster rap music. Be high as hell, I know. Like that's the only thing is always mind-boggling. Like, yes, do we have some troubles? Yes. And then he even brought up the fatherless neighborhoods and like you're going after the low-hanging fruit, bro. Like, yeah, that part is wild. I agree. And we got some work to do. Yes, I can, baby. We definitely got some work to do. There you go. Good. Got it. You know, we definitely got some work to do. Yeah, I got the Frankie Beverly outfit on. Hey, I appreciate it. All right, what else we gonna talk about today? All right. So we got that. We got that one out the way. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. So, like, even let's just go continue with the whole. Hold on, let's continue with that. Hold on, because I thought this was interesting as well. I don't like this one. I like this screen. Yeah, I like that better. Let's see this lady talk.
Populism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look at slavery, let's talk about the fact
slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people.
Do you know who was the first race to try to end slavery?
Well, what's controversial? I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that,
Jillian? I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and
I'm
who
not.
was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
in the
that
context of American history,
In the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that it was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example,
I see what's going on here. She feels a way that white people was the main contributors to slavery in America. And so she's feeling a way and saying that white people are bad. And see, and this is an issue. It is okay for you to say, hey, this version of that time was a bad time in America, especially for the South when they was trying to hold on tight to slavery. Because, like anybody can make buku dollars if you don't have to pay your goddamn workers. So, yes, that doesn't mean that every white person is a horrible person, but the people that participated and fought wars over it and continue to try to move it down that line, those people were bad. And it's okay to say that. It's okay. It's like literally okay to say that. That part of your culture, so I guess we can say that white culture is trash and toxic. Can we now say that white culture is toxic? I want to know what you think, Slimmy. So it's just interesting that, it's okay. That was a part of our history. We should not be changing history. Donald Trump should not be changing the history books. He should not be changing the goddamn Smithsonian. He's literally trying to change the goddamn history so white folks can feel a little bit better about themselves. It's okay. We know it most likely wasn't you. If it was only 2% of white folks that had slaves, then fine. Just say it wasn't your family and we could move on. And if your great grandfather did it, hey, it is what it is. But let's move forward with the history and say, hey, this was a horrible time in our culture. It made America a lot of money, and now we gotta try to move on and try to move as one. We cannot act like it wasn't just slavery. It went from slavery to Jim Crow, so on and so forth. And then in this day and age, we got to just be honest about it so we can move forward. A lot of black folks can move forward without even batting an eyelash. It's okay. Slimmy got a point. Most people can't pinpoint what is white culture in the first place. We tried to pinpoint it the other day. This is what I came up with for white culture. F-150s, Budweiser beer, shotguns. It was one more. It was one good one I forgot that we came up with. Cars. And cars. The car culture is white American as well. NASCAR and all these goddamn rally races and things of that nature. And it's just okay. In this day and age, we just need people to stop pretending and acting like, hey, like, shit didn't happen. Things absolutely happen. Country friends in the Kentucky Derby. Oh, Kentucky Derby. Oh, Kentucky Derby. I'm not sure if it's white culture. I'm not sure. We got to look into that one, Natasha. That might be a little bit of mixture of everybody. Italians, Russians, Irish, all considered white. Don't even have the same agendas. That is an excellent point. That's what definitely happened as they didn't want to get beat up anymore, because at one time they had the goddamn Irish as slaves too, but they said, hey, you look more like me, and this is going to make you an officer. So yeah, that's very true as well. A lot of them just get lumped up in this whole white label. That is a very good point. Very good point. Oh, I forgot to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to talk about the whole goddamn Trump and Zelensky situation. I think that is going to be interesting. Yeah, they definitely identify as white. for sure. You know, I dropped the link for anybody that want to just come and chill out with your boy for the meantime, in between time, while it's early. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just really bothers me that so many black conservative want to just throw the whole black culture into some toxic bucket. It's weird. And they don't want to hold no other race accountable besides their own. And not even be truthful about it. That's the scariest part about it. They're not even being truthful about what they are saying. They're just saying things. They're not even truthful about goddamn Donald Trump. You know, notice every time America gets caught doing something shady, they say, remember Ukraine exists. Like as soon as everybody starts talking about, is Trump a part of the goddamn Epstein's files? All of a sudden, I don't know. Hopefully, the shout out to you, Slimmy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I really get my flowers, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. But you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, like as soon as people start talking about what's up with these Epstein's files, we got the DC situation, which is a whole nother. I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. I forgot about that. I forgot to talk about the DC situation, because I do find that very interesting as well. What I find interesting about is that so many people are willing to allow their constitution's rights to be stripped away in a sense of so-called safety. Like putting the military in our cities to clean it up, I don't know if that's an egg that I'm willing to crack. At the same time, in the long run, is it a good thing? Possibly. But giving up my goddamn rights as a citizen, is that a good thing? Possibly not. Because once you give it up, it's hard to get it back. So as soon as you start saying that, hey, the military is welcome into our neighborhood to do whatever they got to do to get drugs, guns, and such and criminals off the street, however they see fit. If somebody wearing a hoodie, arrest them. Somebody's walking outside after 11 o'clock. There's nothing good going on after 11 o'clock p.m. Arrest them. If somebody got a hole in their shirt and they got a little bit of a stain on it, they look like they possibly could be homeless, arrest them. No explanations. We'll figure it out later. And if they are homeless, then we just send them far away from this part of the area. We send them to a bad part of the world. I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm willing to crack that egg, to be honest with you. Do these cities need cleaning up? Absolutely. Do I need them to violate our rights to do it? Absolutely not. And I'm sorry, that's what makes our society great and difficult at the same time. You cannot just send goddamn military into our neighborhoods and talking about you cleaning it up and harassing the neighbors and saying, we just pulling you over to see whatever. No, you don't have the right to do that. According to the Constitution, you have no right to do that. So I'm not sure if I'm willing to give up constitutional rights for the sake of, I don't know. I got a question for y'all. Are y'all willing to give up your constitutional right to clean up the hood? I want to know. Yeah, we got two no's. You know, that is crazy, HT Ball one. No one rights have been taken away. Everything Trump has done is legal and constitutional. So I just don't know. That is a dangerous egg to crack open. That is one omelet I'm not sure I want. I know you're gonna crack a couple of the eggs to make an omelet, but I think they need to find a different way. Because yes, technically he hasn't broken any laws in DC, but once he started trying to push the National Guard into Chicago and Baltimore and all these other blue areas, and why he's not pushing out to the red states the same way how A.T. Ball won. In the red states, crimes are actually higher in the red states, but they always try to focus on the blue states. Why? Because black folks live in majority of the blue states, so it's just an easier target to say crime is running rampant there, because nobody wants to believe that the red states full of different colored people, non-black people, I should say, that those places have a lot of crime. Interesting. Money Marco said blue cities are asking for it. He's saying blue cities are asking for what? What are you saying they're asking for, Money Marco? I'm interested. Angel said nothing that Ninja does has been constitutional. I feel you on that. That's cool. Welcome to the show. ADS, good day, sir. How you doing today?
Good, brother. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I've just got some questions, man. I got some questions on my mind about this whole DC thing. What's your thoughts on it? Should we allow the military to come into our most troubled cities and do whatever they see fit to clean it up?
Man, it's actually a very frightening thought, right? That you can deploy the National Guard out to not only DC, where the president does have that type of jurisdiction over the Dominican or Republic or whatever the hell's going on there, right? With Colombia. And that really should have already been a state 40 years ago. But okay, it is what it is, right? But just the point that he can deploy those out, right? And no one's even talking about in the media where these homeless people are actually going.
I tried to find them.
Yeah, that's even more scary, right? Because we know what he did to the to the Latin Americans. He put those in a warehouse. Didn't give a damn if they was kids. Didn't give a damn about any of that stuff.
I agree.
And unfortunately for homeless people, not a lot of people, they don't have a lot of support around them, right? Where they can actually say anything. And then you got the level of mental illness on the streets, you know, right? Pretty high level there. So they probably, I'm not sure what their mind state is, you know, right? For a lot of them who are are in this circumstance and situation. But the homeless people are one thing. The bigger piece to me, and this is the thing no one's talking about, is that he's moving all the impoverished people out from around Howard. Like the projects that were around Howard University.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Washington? Yeah, there's projects around. Yeah. So he's moving those people out to someplace.
And he already started.
Yeah. So if he can do that in that city, imagine what he can do in other places that are ruby red too, where the governor, you know what I'm saying, and possibly, you know, state officials, especially if they have the House and the Senate of the state itself, can actually push this out as well. Now, it'll probably have little to no effect on me at all in my daily life, right? Because I don't even live on that side of town where I see that stuff. But for those people, I mean, we're talking about women and children here, and that's the one thing I do feel for are women and children. This could be I'm not even sure where you're going to put these people at. That's the more disturbing part to me. Are you moving them to a better place where they have like a little city, you know what I'm saying, where you built it out from the government and this is, all this other stuff? Or are we just moving them out in the middle of nowhere, like, saying like LA, Georgia, or something weird, right? Someplace where nobody ever goes, and then leaving them on the street there. What are we doing here?
Right. And I think the most interesting part to me is that so many people are willing to give up their freedom for just a little bit of cleanup in the city part. I think that's the weirdest part to me.
Can I say this out loud? Most of the people who are advocating for this don't even live in DC, nor they live in Maryland, nor they live in Philly, nor they live on the Eastern Seaboard for the most part. You got everybody else saying this is good, but they don't understand what all comes with this, right? For one, as a real estate mogul, you can almost best believe that the cost of living is going to shoot through the roof with this clean city in Washington, D.C. If it's already expensive, it's about to get even more so because it's going to attract a whole lot more of, how do you say this? Subordinates and other people kind of who fall in line with this, right? Now that it's clean, you can start to tear down all that old stuff and gentrify the hell out of it.
And it's already gentrified over there.
Yeah, it's about to get even more gentrified after this, though. I mean, really gentrified, right?
Very true. But what, so the thing that's interesting to me that I don't think people really pay attention to, down the road, right? They just pay attention to the beginning. Like, yeah, this is clean up the city. Yeah, okay. That is good. But now, once that works, what you think they're going to do later? This is going to be the new rollout plan to clean up any city.
And just when the black folks thought they had forgot about us, I guess they hadn't, right? They remember us just fine. They got enough.
We thought they left us alone.
Yeah, now, we got time for you, saying? I got time today, right? We're going to do something here. We ain't forgot. Y'all think it was cool. It's not cool.
Hey, Money Mark, are you from DC? Please hit the link if you can. Hit the link and give us what's your thoughts on this whole DC thing. Do you see an uptick in police presence out there in DC? Do you see people in uproar? Do you see people they enjoy? They actually like the police being out there? What is your thoughts, Money Marker, being from DC? Are you still in DC? Because pretty much what we could call it is a black ice raid. It's the African American ice raids.
That feels like a fact, friend.
And
I want to see,
and I understand, and I do understand the other side of the coin. If you've been harassed in that area, like you live there, and you are in harassment, and you are around drive-bys, and you just don't see that things are moving in the correct way, you want something harsh to happen. So I could get that side too.
But be careful of overcorrecting. That is a leading cause of shit going sideways. We've overcorrected every step of the way. And to our advantage as black people for overcorrections. Remember the word nigger back in the 90s? Oh, if you said that word, you was a this, you was a that, you was another. If people are losing their stuff over that, jobs being sued. Right. Now on the flip hand side, the N-word is freely used in society. That's the funny part. But now we have another overcorrect we have to deal with, right? So all this overcorrection, man, it's like when we put Trump in the office, what I expect him to do with the policies, right? Okay, this is what we're going to promote, right? Legal immigration, stuff like that, right? All around the board. But when I saw that little thing he came out with last summer, that 44 or whatever it was, that little document that came out, that all these plans that they had.
Oh, Project 25.
Yeah. And that
now it's called Project 47 now, but yeah.
That kind of swayed me back, saying, even though I'm not in agreement with this, I'm like, I don't know what this really is.
What it really is, right? Shout out to Bubba Holmes. So he said, Republican states will be safe and clean with prosperity for the working middle class, while Democrat states will be illegal aliens, crime, queers, with prosperity for only the upper class. That sounds wild to me.
Bruh. If you think these people gonna leave you alone, you ain't never been down there to Cape Canaveral or any place like that where it's all white. Malibu. You drive your black ass around if you want to. Now they might not say nothing to you, but you believe it or not, eyes is on your ass.
And like these red states ain't much more. It's just what it is. It ain't that much more safe. Matter of fact, a lot of the red states have the border problems in the first place. Right? A lot of the places where they sneak it across the border is from the red states. Or am I confused?
I'm gonna be honest. Now there is a problem, a major problem. You know, because there are different ways of getting into this country, right? I was reading certain articles based on that.
Yeah.
Before I pass judgment, of course, you know, right? Because if they're just walking across the border all day, okay, then you need to do something about that, right?
Absolutely.
But there are other ways of getting in. You know what I'm saying? There are tunnels. There are different flights. Most of the people that we say that, I wouldn't say most, but probably about 20 to 30% of them aren't really coming across the border. They were here and their visa expired.
That too.
And they're just here. You know, right?
Right. And that's a lot of and that's how the so-called like what Slimmy was talking about earlier, the ones that just appropriate themselves as white. They say I'm Russian, Italian, whatever, as long as they got the skin complexion, they overstay it. You don't see them running in Little Russia and trying to get all those people out where they was at. You know what I'm saying? They went at the Mexicans. They ain't got the Little Russians.
And even then, right? I mean, you know what? They want to let loose a little bit and throw caution to the wind. What's up with all these damn knockoffs, right?
What knockoffs?
Saying people pretending to be white. You got Mexicans, you got Russians, like you said, who come from these different places, right? And then they come over here, even though they're not pure clean, say they just like basically a fancy kid for the most part, where they look white, but they ain't white. And now it's being promoted that they actually white too.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, even if you Arab, you could say that you can say you white.
That's a knockoff.
You can call it what you want, but hey, listen, they're going to use the system to the best of their ability. I tell you that much. I tell you that.
Maybe a good knockoff.
Maybe
a good knockoff, but knockoff the same. It's like
that was for me or no? Oh, okay. Yeah, so like I just think that is highly interesting. Bubba said, when they start putting in the military, then the red states is going to get clean off the rip. I don't think so. I think in reality, what people really don't understand that, hey man, look, you get those people that's in the country with all these shotguns, they are the main ones that do not want big government around. They do not like government. They will stand off with FBI, sheriffs. They don't give a damn. They got their backyard, their horses, they little 4x4s, and they will stand off with anybody as long as they got the weaponry. And they spend a lot of money on weaponry. So I don't know why they think that is just going to be so. It's not going to be so easy in the red states. That's for sure. Where they allow guns and all that, it ain't gonna be so you can just walk in there. And this is another reason why they probably doing it in blue states. Majority of blue states is so overpopulated that you're not allowed to have a gun. So it's
not even that. Not even that, Sharon. Almost half of the people that are homeless are white people.
Damn.
They're not. People think it's all black people because what we see in the media, right, and on TV. But in reality, there are a lot of white folks out there too. So what happens when you start moving them out and they start screaming, I'm a vet, I'm this, I'm that? Media picks up on that. What do you do then? Do you just leave, you just take the black folks, move them out? Because you're going to have to move them too.
And that's when it's going to get spicy. That's when it's going to get spicy because they don't play around. They ain't afraid to say I don't answer questions. They ain't afraid to buck up at the police. They ain't afraid to go ahead and get, because they know they're not 9 out of 10 times they definitely ain't gonna get shot.
You're gonna hear the song. You're gonna hear Hank Williams Jr. down there. I'm proud to be an American, and it's gonna be them homeless white people.
What's your thought on so like for me with this whole Zelensky new thing going on now, right? It's a little weird time for me that it's all coming up. The fact that he did the thing with DC, the Epstein files, everybody's want to see these Epstein files, save his name is on the list, and then all of a sudden he like, oh, yeah, remember Ukraine? Oh snap. We spying on our own citizens and we locking them up in our own cities and we deployed the military in our own city. Quick, send Zelensky some tanks. That's what happened, I swear. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Donald Trump is using Ukraine like that friend you only call when your girlfriend's mad at you.
Yeah.
That's what he uses Zelensky for. Man, you still fighting with Russia? Cool. Listen, I need a favor, by the way. That's what he's using it for. It's weird to me. I don't know how these games are being played, or is it real? I don't even know anymore.
And I think that is the gist of what's really going on. Even if you believe that it's real, you can't confirm that what you're thinking is real. And as long as that's out there, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you're just assuming everything. And that's what they're going to call out. You're assuming a lot of stuff, you know?
Absolutely. Because, you know, Zelensky, he's this dude that went from a sitcom star to a wartime president. Faster than Kanye went from sneakers to anti-Semitism. This is crazy. It's like he was just a comedian. He was just a comedian, ADS.
Kanye is insane. All his brain is dead, nigga, from that drugs, alcohol. I don't know what the hell.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hood, Conservative. Good day, sir. How you doing today?
Yeah, what up, yo? Mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well. What's up with you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just had to come up and probe your mind for a minute. I'm hearing a lot of fear mongering about the homeless people. Where do you think the homeless people went? You think Trump put them on a bus or something? You think he put them on a boat and just pushed it out to the ocean? Like, what do you think he did?
But that's the thing. We don't really know because there's no real clear place that he's sending them. We don't know he sent them to a warehouse. Did he send them to another nearby state? Is he putting them in a different kind of project housing where they're gonna pay the rent for a year and then they're gonna have to figure it out later? We don't know. All we know is that they pick people up and they put them in a goddamn van.
Why do you think they're? First of all, where did you hear that? Because I've never heard they're rounding up the homeless. That's a bit too far. But they are ripping down homeless camps, which is a different deal. So from what I have seen evidence of, you know how the homeless, they be setting up. First it'll be one tent, then it'll be two. Next thing you know, you got a whole field of niggas camping out downtown somewhere. And what they did was just rip down all of their little shanty towns. And so wherever they went after that, you know, you're free. You're free to go. You can rebuild somewhere else if you want, but this shit going in the trash, nigga.
Right, but
so I don't know what you mean about, you know, getting thrown on buses and shit like that. Where are you hearing this, bro? Stop.
From him himself. He said, when we find the homeless, we're gonna put them somewhere far away from the capital, is what he said.
All right, well, I like to see that plan, but so far it looks like if you just knock down their stuff, you know, they won't come right back. And if you keep knocking their stuff down, they'll stay away.
Wow. So you think that is proper and appropriate for them to just get rid of? Damn. And why do you feel that way about the homeless?
Well, because I've met them.
Okay. And you don't think
you're not helping. Well, deserve is such a gay concept. Why would you deserve a thing if you haven't done anything for it?
Now, Hood, you're supposed to be looking out for those who can't look out for themselves. The vast majority of those people who are on the street are mentally ill people. No, they're not healthy. They're sick. So for us to shit on them as a society tells me a lot about who we are, right? As real people. You know what I'm saying? We can't just turn our backs on folks because they are less fortunate than us. I think that's the absolute wrong thing to do in that circumstance.
Well, perhaps. And I would agree that a lot of those people are probably mentally ill or dysfunctional in some major way, but Now you brought us to the real problem. If a person is severely mentally ill, you can't really help them. You can just keep them alive until they die.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, how many people have come back from severe mental illness and went on to work a job down at the plant?
So
okay then, so let's not act as if our empathy comes from a bottomless pit. Like, you can only go so far, and you can't tell me that we should just take these people and care for them endlessly until they die. That's not a solution either, bro.
Damn. But
Yes.
if they on the street, nobody's taking care of them at all.
Exactly.
Well, I
They're
mean,
just
that's
sitting there dying anyway. I mean,
everybody dies. At least they're free. Listen, everybody
that's
dies,
crazy.
and at least they're free. I am not about to be adopting niggas, bro. I don't want to take a policy that means we have to adopt every poor lost soul.
Not every, but we can help a lot of people. And I think that means something.
Yeah, we can help a lot of people. And as a country, we do help a lot of people. And you know what? A lot of people would still rather be homeless, crazy people.
Wow. Okay.
We got the most generous welfare state in almost the whole world, bro.
That was possible.
Not anymore, because I think the food stamps is gone, right?
Yeah.
They're not gone. They're restricted. Fat chicks can't buy cheap. You can't buy Funyuns and hot fries with your food stamps.
Gone. I voted for Trump, and I don't agree with this shit. This is
again.
A step too far.
And also shout out to ADS for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, my brother. Thank you.
Food stamps aren't gone, bro. Food stamps aren't gone.
So it is. They made it much more difficult for people to get it. The people that used to get it, they're not getting it now. It's not just about you can't buy Cheetos with it. It's also that they raised the threshold as well. So a lot of people that was getting it at one time, they are not getting it at all now.
Because a lot of girls, a lot of fat bitches was on TikTok bragging about how much money they got and how wasteful they were with the money. And regular hardworking people saw that and they were like, you know what? That's not right.
The vast majority of people who get food stamps in this country get them for a reason. Mm-hmm. They need them. Mm-hmm. You see a couple people on social media, and this represents every one of those people. Just two people.
No, not necessarily.
A couple of bitches on social media bragging about going to the damn store and buying some baby fat ass purses in 2025. And these are the examples of welfare fraud.
Well, no, the real examples of welfare fraud is that black lady who actually worked for the food stamp department and got fired for fraud because she was scamming the hell out of the whole department. That was food stamp fraud. But see, the thing is, once you start actually cutting down on fraud, you have to go across the board. So we're going to get the big fish and the little fish.
All right, so hopefully, because in Brooklyn, they probably get the biggest ones of goddamn fraud in that department.
No, they was in the stores, bro. They was in them Arab delis snatching up them fake EBT scanners, bro. Them niggas be scamming the hell out the EBT system. They said you can make like $1 million in false EBT transactions in these places, bro. Nobody really wants to know just how awful everything is.
Yeah, but I mean that's cool. But also the small hat community, they are also very big on food stamps and all that. So we're gonna see how it really affect people.
Hood conservative. I love your content material. I really do. But you can't be such a nihilist, man. Not everybody's bad. Not everyone's evil. There's some good people out here.
I don't even know where you came from with nihilism. No, this isn't nihilism, bro. This is a hard-headed rationality. Like I said, if we're talking about people being actually crazy, why do you think Trump said we gotta reopen the crazy houses, all the mental institutions? Because they've just been letting these people roam the street.
So I do agree that we do need to reopen up Arkham Asylum. I do agree with that. They do need crazy houses again because clearly, but also if they open up crazy houses, who's going to fund it?
We stopped paying for transgender surgery on mice in Venezuela, and we start paying for things in America.
Now I'm in agreement with that 1,000%.
Right, but you also just saying you don't want it to be welfare state. So the asylum essentially will be a welfare state for the homeless.
No, it would be more like a jail. But you don't necessarily jail people just because they're insane. However, if we can actually have a process by which we all collectively determine you are insane, then now the state has the right to remove you from the public.
Wow.
Listen, it's either that or we just kill them. Now that's nihilism. That's your nihilism, right? And I'm not saying you just go execute them. I would rather you bring back those homeless centers. I mean, if we have to kill for them for life, I would rather do that than just give them welfare and let them roam the highways and byways until they collide with one of my kids. Because now I have to kill you.
Okay, that's a fact. That's a fact too. I agree with that.
I mean, the problem is that like it's going back and forth, right? So one moment you're saying that you don't want a goddamn a welfare state, but if we're gonna bring back the crazy houses, that's literally gonna be a welfare state or welfare jailhouse / welfare state. So we gotta have some kind of balance, but it cannot be we just gonna clean it up by just putting you in a bus and taking you away from the capital.
Are you really calling imprisonment welfare? If that's the case, black men are the biggest welfare queens. Stop that. Imprisonment is not welfare. Nigga, don't you ever.
While we not the most populated in the prison?
By percentage wise, we black men go to jail a lot. But my whole point is it's not welfare.
Even then, that's only in prison 800,000 of us, right? Out of 23 million. So that still leaves, was it 19.2 million of us? So the prison, to me, it's definitely overly, how do you say, overly discussed, man. Because I mean that's only 800,000, and the rest of us is out.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to do a per capita battle. My whole point in bringing it up was that prison is not welfare, nor is being incarcerated in a medical institution welfare. Welfare is when the government gives you money directly, either food stamps, pays your rent in an actual home. You know, it gives you free medical care. Those are considered welfare. You being taken into custody against your will could never be considered welfare, bro.
Yes, it can, because all the things that you just named happens in jail. Shout out to Haitian, the sensation one, the father. Stop putting welfare just on people of color. More whites are on welfare than our people. You want to respond to that, Hood?
I don't want to engage in a per capita battle with niggas, bro. It's almost an IQ test. Either you get it or you don't, and I'm not here to help you.
You know what really pisses me off though, Hood? It isn't how many people we have in prisons. It's how they cycle so many of us through this system, right? Where it just kind of limits what we can do capability-wise. I mean, early on for a lot of people, right? We're talking 18, 19 years old, got records, stuff like that, right? That's what kind of bothers me a little bit, because what that does is kind of stunts that whoever it is growth, where they can't be any more than that one thing. That's the thing, saying that upsets me, right? Is how many of us have been through the system. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I've been able to avoid it because I went to the military. It's college, jail, or the military. I went to the military, right? So I avoid the jail thing. I think I have, at least. I hope I have, right? But there are so many brothers who go through this system, man. And once they go through especially that part of the system, they don't recover. So this person is stuck like this for life, right?
Mm. It's a great solid point. And then now that we got him deploying military, and we have a whole bunch of black people say, yes, we need more of this. We need more police just harassing people on the street in impoverished neighborhoods is wild to me. Like we went through we did that already. I don't know if y'all remember history, but we went through that already when police officers would just run through our neighborhoods and just pull people over and try to find anything they can. And a lot of good people got hurt in the midst of finding these 50 guns out of 10,000 people that you pulled over.
Brother, I was in Jonesboro when Victor Hill was sheriff. Y'all don't even know who that is. Y'all don't even know who that is.
Break it down.
At the time, man, Victor Hill, man, I mean, bruh, Jonesboro over here, over there on that side of town, it was hell. I had just gotten out of the military with a Lexus, right? Lived in College Park over there, out Gobby with the Lexus. Brother, I got pulled over so many times and so many tickets. I swear I put at least $10,000, $15,000 of time into the system. I kept getting pulled over for anything. Tail light. Oh, you missed the stop sign. Brake. You know what I'm saying?
And how does that build? And how does that really going to build community is the question. And I just don't know if that omelet is worth cracking that many eggs. Yeah, you found 50, you took 50 guns off the street, but you also stopped and pulled over 1,000 citizens. I don't know if that's worth it. Is that not harassing when I ain't do anything? I wanna understand what's conservative idea of that. So they pulled me over, pulled me out the car, searched my car just because I look or dressed a certain way. Is that worth? And they do that to 1,000 people, and they want to find the 50 guns. Is it worth? Is it worth that? I don't know. What's your thought, ADS? Do you think it's worth being pulling over majority of your citizens that are good, hardworking people just to find 50 guns?
Neighborhood shakedowns?
Right. You did take 50 guns off the street.
Yeah, they harassed the hell out of some people. But if it saves one life, then can we say it was worth it? Because those 50 guns are going to get... Yeah, I mean, those 50 guns were going to go somewhere, right? And I had a feeling they wasn't going back to the white folk. So when we see these shootouts in Chicago and other places in major metropolitan areas with the young niggas, you know, right, doing stuff, this is how they get access to that, those guns. So do I think it did some good? Yeah. Do I think it harassed the hell out of some people? Yeah. But there's got to be a good medium in there somewhere, right?
I don't know. So you kind of leaning on understanding, saying, hey, if we could get 50 guns off the street out of every 1,000 people harassed, you saying it is worth the squeeze. The juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh, man, that's a hard one.
Woo!
That's a hard one.
I agree 100%. That's a hard decision to make. Is it the right decision? Maybe we look back 10 years from now, it was the right decision to harass all those people. If it gets super clean and, you know, there's only 2 murders in the damn capital. You understand? But
that word "if" is a very special word with Donald Trump. Man. Because we all know that he doesn't like to follow through on anything.
Woo.
So it's going to be interesting to see if he actually follows through on this. Remember Taco Trump?
I will go for Donald Trump. Conservative, you back? Let me see if your microphone working.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to take a phone call.
Yeah, you back. So my question was to ADS. ADS said he's not sure he can answer the question yet. So we want to know, is the juice worth the squeeze? You harass 1,000 citizens to pick up 50 guns off the street. Is it worth it? Conservative.
I bet you can eat a full 3-course meal outside in front of in front of your favorite restaurant on the streets of DC tonight.
Well, according to this week, actually restaurant patronage has went down because of everybody's afraid to go outside. So it actually worked in the opposite direction.
Those are 2 different things, but you are safer on the street if you want to walk around Washington, D.C. right now. Safest time ever to live in the city. How much do you value safety?
No, it's not. It's not safer.
No, it's a question. How is it not safer with all these feds all over the place?
Because
niggas are afraid to come outside with their guns.
No, because now I could get harassed by police just because I'm walking outside past a certain time of night.
Yeah, only niggas get harassed, bro. If you're a regular grown man, that interaction will be 30 seconds and pleasant.
Right. So, but that's the problem, that you are fantasizing that it's going to be that quick. No, they're going to see you just like a YN. You got the Nike Tech outfit on. You got a hoodie on. They're going to
No.
harass you.
You know what you hear in those videos where niggas say they getting harassed? Niggas fucking with the police. You're being an asshole. This nigga got a badge and a gun. He has the authority to ruin your fucking day. And you think the best thing to do is be an asshole with this guy. No, only niggas get harassed. If you're a regular black guy who's going to work or coming home, that will be a 30-second interaction. You'll be fine.
I think that's a wild statement to have. So you think that, I just think that's a wild statement, because I do not want to get pulled over and harassed and somebody asking me for my ID and questioning me where I live at and all that. Nah, bro, you ain't that ain't cool.
When you get pulled over in your car, they're supposed to ask you for your ID. What is wrong with you?
Right. So the thing is that we're not just talking about driving. We're talking about people walking in the street. They are harassed. They are talking to them as well. A dude came out the projects. He came out his project building. They pulled him over and said, well, not pull him over. They pulled him to the side and started checking him right away. Didn't ask him for no ID or nothing. Get on the wall.
Sounds like red zone police behavior. That's how it is in the red zone.
Regardless, what we're talking about is that, so now when you're walking outside, you could just get pulled to the side by a police officer at any moment, because that is a chocolate city. That's an issue. You don't think so?
So you mean most of those cops would be black too, right?
It don't matter. They're black or white.
Oh, so cops automatically become blue as soon as they put the badge on. It's funny how that works. He stops being black once he wears the blue. Interesting.
No, but I'm saying that it doesn't. What if he's black or not? Does that make it any different?
Maybe I side with the black cop trying to clear the street more than the black.
No, but what I'm trying to
bro.
No, what I'm trying to understand, does it make it a difference that a black cop is harassing me versus a white cop harassing me? Does that actually makes a difference? You all right?
I believe it.
You cool, sir?
I think he maybe he lost reception real quick. But ADS, what you think? You think it's a difference between a black cop and a white cop harassing you?
I think another man harassing me is harassment. Black, white, pink, yellow, blue. I'm green. I don't give a shit. You harass me, you harass me.
I
agree. Listen, every time a cop wants to talk to somebody, only niggas think that anytime a cop wants to say anything to you is harassment. Like, that's literally niggas.
All right, so it's one thing if he just talking to you, but if he pulls you to the side and search you and tell you pull out your ID, you don't think that is harassment?
Generally, they don't do that unless there's something going on. Like, they're not going to search you just because they're looking at you.
Right, so that's what we're trying to explain.
At most, they may ask you to identify yourself, but unless something is actually going on, you're just two people talking. And see, that's another thing. A lot of these niggas on the street, they don't know how to conduct themselves with the police. So they turn every interaction into a nigga moment. And now I'm supposed to feel bad for you because you don't know how to act. You're a grown man, bro. If you can't use your language to get out of a simple interaction, well, fuck, I don't care what happens to you.
Okay, that is fine, and I agree. It is some people that use any kind of police interaction as you say it, a friends moment, because we don't say the N-word over here. We say the word friends. So yes, they use it as a friends moment, and you know. But however, in DC, what's happening now?
So all ends are your friends. That's what I'm hearing. All ends are your friends. That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? They had a very good TV show that was shot about our city. It's called Friends, and I ain't seen not one of our friends on that TV show. Interesting. But regardless, what I'm saying is that right now in DC, they are pulling people to the side that when there's no crimes been committed in the area, just because you look suspicious, they will just pull you over to the side, they'll search you, grab your ID and all these type of things. That's when to me it becomes harassment. When nothing happened in the town, you just pulling me over because you might deem I look suspicious. That is a problem to me. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. I don't like that idea. But at the same time, I do get it. And I do understand. Now, you want to clean up your city, you want to have to break some goddamn eggs to get the city clean. And that might be one of them. You know what I'm saying? You do got to get tough on crime somehow, some way.
I mean, he has full jurisdiction over DC anyway.
So
this wasn't anything to me tremendously big when it came to the action itself. It's about the implications, right? And then, more enough about, saying the ripple effect of this too, what this causes throughout the country. Because you best believe if this is successful, that you're going to have a whole lot of other cities out there, calling up to the White House to try to get the National Guard down there.
And that's the most scariest thing to me is that, hey, listen, I don't think the smart idea is to say, hey, just put over anybody that we deem this is suspicious. Whatever that thing is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say, hey, any man that's wearing X, Y, and Z, and he looks like X, Y, and Z, pull him over, check him, see what he got. We don't care. I think that's a slippery slope.
And especially when it hits this is up north where the policies are more liberal. You know what I'm saying? Far more liberal than down here in the South. If that shit hits the South, bro, I might have to leave.
It's just a scary, and look, it's a scary thing to me, just the thought of it. And it's not something that most likely will affect me. I'm not outside at nighttime. Unless we're gonna consider me being, I leave my house like 4 a.m. It's really pitch black outside to go to the office. But otherwise than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much on the inside. I'm at the job sites between 6 a.m. to 4 or 5. I'm in the house by like 5, 6, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to really affect me that much in a sense. However, I do understand that there's a lot of people that's outside at that time of the night. That's hardworking. That never did anything in their life. I just don't know if harassing 1,000 people to get 50 guns off the street is worth it. At the same time, like you said, ADS, if you could save one life by removing those 50 guns from the street, it almost sounds like it's worth it.
Shit. I mean, the best time to hit the gym is, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Right. Best time to get up and run, pray, do anything really is at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
That's when you got the best traffic. You ain't got no issues getting on any of the machines. Everything is cool. Everything is easy. You got the private time. That's perfect timing. Unfortunately, it's right in the middle of sleep. So I get up about 6:37. From there, you do your thing, and then I work, work from, where I work from crib.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with Slimmy on this one 100%. He said, I keep saying this. It's a step closer to martial law, and folks are too trusting of the government to think they won't make martial law nationwide with some catastrophic event involving these feds. That's my issue with it, to be honest with you.
So what is the solution, though? Because otherwise, you're just asking people to sit there and live in, crime and anarchy. And not only that, remember, DC is a black town, so you're basically cursing all the good black people to suffer because your feelings are hurt.
No, so what we doing is holding the U.S. government to the Constitution to say that, hey, you cannot just assume your citizens are criminals and you start pulling people over and harassing your own citizens. They are free to roam the goddamn country. So you cannot violate by saying because you fit a description of a hip hop person or whatever they want to call it, and we could get to just pull you over and harass you until we find the bad apples. The problem is that the bad apples do not outweigh the good apples. We already know it's only 800,000 in the prison system, and there's 19 million other black men out there. We didn't even count the women, and then we add the women along with it. That's another 19 million.
This is really my big problem with like current black thought, bro. It's all complaining but no building. I'm asking you, what's the better solution? All you want to do is hold the government accountable for keeping niggas safe. You're making a black city safer. You're making it easier for black folk to live there, and you just want to make it harder for the government to do that. What is your solution?
I have a rebuttal to that. See, in normal circumstances, when it comes to business and real estate, what that real estate owner or provider will do is buy out the houses that are in the area, buy out the residencies. If they're buying an apartment, they'll buy out the tenants. They'll tell them, hey, at the end of your lease, you got to leave. You know, at the end, they'll say, or here's your buyout, right? You know what I'm saying? If you leave now, I'll give you this much, you know what I'm saying, money to leave, right? That's what real estate would normally do. But with government powers, you don't have to do that. You could just literally take those people up out of their homes. I mean, counterpoint.
You don't buy out the homeless. Hold on. You don't buy out the homeless. That's the only point of consent. I mean, that's the only point of action that your scenario really touches. They're not buying out the ghetto. They're knocking down shanties.
Actually, at Howard, they are. The projects around Howard are also being bought out. Those people are being bought out
by whom? By whom? So that's gentrification. That's not necessarily so the government owns the project. I mean, technically they do already own it. It's a housing development. It's already owned by the government.
Yeah.
So they're not buying out anything. You already live under. Listen, when you live on government property, they do shit like that.
But in real estate, what they do is buy those tenants out, right? I've seen them give up to, when they were renovating downtown Atlanta, they were giving folks, almost $1,500 just to leave where they were staying. Just right off the top, like $1,500, no questions asked.
Hold on one second. Let me make sure this is my brother Slimmy. That's you?
Yeah, that's me, bro. I'm not at the crib, so I don't have my, the setup.
All right.
Yeah, that's me. No, I feel you. I feel you, baby. Can't just let anybody up. Can't do that.
But hold on. All right, so we agree that you don't buy out the homeless because they don't have homes. How can you buy out people in the projects when they don't own the projects anyway? How does the government buy out itself? It's already government property.
No. So when it comes to buyout, so if you're trying to get the people out of the building, even if it's in a project, you say, hey, I would give you $5,000 to move out of this apartment, and you take that $5,000 and that could start you off to get into an apartment, do whatever you want to do, but you got to get up out of here if you take this money. That's how that works.
No, what they do is put them in other government housing. They find another project somewhere in their system, and they put them in the other housing. That's what usually happens. Like, so if they shut down your building and you're on it, and like, say you have a contract, you're a tenant with NYCHA, and you have to leave that apartment for whatever reason, not your fault. They have to get you a new apartment.
Right. So
within the projects, they're not going to buy you out. They're going to put you in a new apartment.
But what I'm telling you is that like they do buy people out even in the projects as well, and they would give them a check so they could go do whatever they want to do. And then it also has the one that you just talked about as well. They will have to find them another place if that building is condemned, but that's only if the building is condemned. But if somebody bought it privately, they could buy out the people that's in the building. Absolutely, it happens.
But to uproot those people, their children, remember, the projects are intended for people with families. They're not really for single folks at all. These people all have kids for the most part. And these are elderly people, right, too. Remember that.
A lot of them are
disabled. You take them, you yank them out of where they're living at now, where they've already made arrangements, where they've already made adjustments, where they all become accustomed to this particular part of life, and you yank them and you throw them someplace, because you can't tell me there was some particular planning around this either. This was just kind of a spur of the moment thing.
I agree. Also, let me welcome into the show a new voice. Welcome, Slimmy. What is your thoughts, Slimmy, so far? What's your thoughts on all this craziness, man?
I just want to say something about the gentrification part. I mean, in New York alone, it's a lot of people still mad at Jay-Z because they gentrified parts of Brooklyn, right? and they bought out projects. They bought out brownstones. It's people that was really upset with him because he was the face of gentrification for the Brooklyn Nets to get there. But they left up the Marcy projects where he's actually from, so that's wild. But that's just that how that go. They always using us as the face to blame for everything, but we go through with it, so we don't be knowing what's going on most of the time. But anyway, I do think we in a slippery slope right now, man. Like, I get it, DC is full of crime, but like was stated on After Hours, like, police go all the way out. They go all the way out when a police officer is killed. If a police officer is killed, it is every resource used to find out what happened to this officer. Now, I have no issues with that at all. My issue is there are so many unsolved murders, unsolved kidnappings everywhere in every city, in every level of class. Why isn't there every use of resource, or at least half of that, to solve some of these issues? Because crime can only be an issue if you really, really want it to be. We can't police ourselves, and I get it. It's still the stop snitching type of thing. We got to get rid of that. We got to abandon that completely, because most of us are regular civilians. We not in the streets. We not doing all this foolishness. We got to abandon certain things. But at the same time, every resource is not being used to get rid of crime. Now we have the normal issues that we have, and police might, they might walk by and they see somebody that they know from when they grew up. They know that they doing wrong and they just walk right by them. We understand that takes place. So now we jump from that all the way to like, yo, we gonna get federal agents here. That, hell no. I don't rock with that, man. I don't rock with that. We skipping too many steps.
Too many. That's a big overcorrection.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I was also saying, like, kids can't get switches. They can't get certain issue weapons without help and without overseers knowing that it's happening. That's the problem. Like, people know that kids that are way too young or kids that are way too reckless are getting their hands on powerful weapons and nothing is being done about it. I get it. Everybody's supposed to be able to carry a firearm, under certain rules of the law. But we also know that you can't allow certain weaponry in certain areas. You just can't allow it. And that part is not being policed. So it wouldn't be as much recklessness if we was very careful about who got guns and how they got guns. But that's a whole different thing that goes back to the war on drugs that still has been unsolved.
To this day. How he said it? To this day. That's some good points, man. And I just think it's too, like, man, like I said, I'm all for better communities. I'm all for crime being down. I'm just not sure if I'm all for it and the price to pay for it is our freedoms. I don't know if that's the right price to pay. Because once we start that and we keep going down that road, it ain't nobody going to take it back and say, okay, now y'all can all have your freedoms again. 17-year-olds could go outside again.
Yeah, look how long it took for us to get off of TSA after 9/11.
Woo!
Look how long it took.
Like, cause I'm just thinking about when I was 16, Slimmy. I was outside. I wasn't in the house at 16 on the summertime.
No.
Like, I could get it, like, during school time. Hey, maybe kids don't need to be outside, but summertime, you telling me a 16-year-old got no job?
We just leaving the court, dog. We leaving the court, going to another court, then going to get some fast food, then we going to the court with the lights. Because we
come on.
we used to ball till 10:30, 11 o'clock, nigga, on weeknights.
Yeah, bro. Like,
so
everybody was
there. And so a lot of, especially a lot of the parks, most of the parks in recent time, they be shutting the lights off probably at 12 a.m. So now we playing until the lights go off because we don't even care. We gonna play until the lights go off, right? And when the lights go up, we might even play for 5 more minutes until somebody get hit with a basketball. Like, all right, it's too dark. You can't even see the passes.
Dude, when the lights went off, some people they pulled the cars up, and we was hooping like that,
right? And so now, so let's just say the game is over at 12 a.m. We putting on our stuff now. We put our hoodies on. Now we leaving. So we leaving the court 12:30 a.m. So now you mean to tell me that it is okay for police to just stop and frisk everybody walking down the street at 12:30 a.m.? Absolutely, this is not worth to me the juice and the squeeze. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yo, what's good?
Like it.
Good day.
Izzy
Welcome
Vance.
to the show. Izzy Vance. Good day, good sir. How you feeling today?
What's good, Sharon? What's good? To the chat. What's good? Slimmy, what's good? ADS and
What's good, man? It's a good thing to see.
Izzy Vance,
Izzy
the
hanging
man.
around on the same panel. Let's go.
How about the with Brotherhood Fight Club royalty, nigga? Stand up and clip it. Yeah.
You wildin'. Hey, I wanted to. I didn't know if y'all had addressed this point, and I apologize if I'm being redundant. The thing is, I was trying to get up here, but crime pays, bro. Crime literally pays. That's why they don't try to stop it. Give me one quick second. Yeah, I got it.
Crime do pay. So you saying it pays for the city to have crime? Wow, that is
because you got to get locked up. you gotta get locked up.
I want him to finish that thought. I want him to finish that thought before I respond, because crime does pay, but you can go anyway with that.
So this is where I'm going with it. I apologize. I had a quick call, but yo, crime pays because again, a lot of people get paid off of crime. The municipalities get paid off of crime. The judicial system gets paid off of crime. The legislation gets paid off of crime. And at the end of the day, the police officers get paid off of crime, because if you don't have any crime, why do you need police, right? Or as many police. So crime actually pays. It's kind of like the whole thing with the medical system. Like my man Chris Rock said, it's not in the prevention, it's not in the cure, it's in the comeback. That's where the money is at. The money is in the comeback. If you got to keep coming back, that's how they keep getting paid. But if they cure you, you don't need the doctor. Crime pays.
Woo. Go ahead, Conservative. You have a thought about it?
All that's relatively true. There is a giant complex built up around the other side of the justice system. I would argue that crime pays too from the criminal side. Wow. So, like, when you're in some of these poor neighborhoods, who has most of the money? And so, like, when you asked the question a minute ago about like not solving these murders or whatever, a big reason for a lot of the crime that doesn't get solved is because the people involved are involved. Like, they're not going to tell on themselves and stop the business. You know, if you arrest certain people, a lot of other people aren't going to eat. Crime does pay.
No. See, all the murders ain't just in the hood. I'm talking about the murders everywhere. It's a lot of murders that go unsolved everywhere. Like, they aren't using the most resources to do it. It's people all in all classes that are just like, yo, what happened to my son? You still haven't told me what happened to my kid. Like, it's people all over like that, man. This ain't just in the hood, bro. But I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment, but like, I'm beyond the hood, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because this affects more than black people. This affects everybody. We are teetering on very, very dangerous times. So if they took all our freedoms away from what was a terrorist attack at 9/11, which we know wasn't a terrorist attack. We know what that was. That was an insurance job. We know what that was about, and we know who conspired to do that. So since we know that wasn't real and they took away all our freedoms just at the airport alone, this is just strictly in the streets. What they gonna take away from us strictly in the streets? This don't have nothing to do with no airports. This ain't no planes. This ain't nothing. What exactly are they going to take away from us? Because if martial law, I don't think people really understand what takes place. You have no civil rights. You don't have the right to speak to an agent. If an agent comes to your door and says, step outside, you can't be like, hey man, I don't got it. Boom, your head is knocked off. That's it. We teetering in dangerous times.
I agree.
What's up, Conscious Moron? Yeah, the thing is this, like, I get it. I agree about civil liberties, and the declaration of martial law is a kind of an above the law scenario where, like you say, anything goes, and it's the prevalent. And literally Trump did say that. Trump said, yeah, but it was a time where you could talk, and then the people would be in the officer's face, they'd be spitting in their face. They're literally spitting in their face, and they look like, yeah, they want to knock the hell out of them, but they couldn't do it. But now now they can knock the hell out of them, just get them, get in there. Like, I was like,
and we can hit and he said we can hit much harder. He was like, trust me, we can hit much harder. That's what
ain't that assault if you spit in the cop's face or anything like that?
Yeah, it could. Yes.
You can technically say it's assault. Technically, yes.
Yeah. Trump is gone.
What's up, Conscious Moron? Good day. Welcome to the show. What's your thoughts? Do you think if we harass 1,000 citizens and we get 50 guns off the street, is the juice worth the squeeze?
How many citizens you say?
1,000. Out of every 1,000 citizens we harass, we get 50 guns off the street. Is it worth it?
Depending on the city, man. I would hate to say.
It doesn't matter what city it is.
It's definitely a civil against our rights, but does it actually work? You said 50 guns?
50 guns.
Okay,
but you harass 1,000 people.
I know I live in Atlanta, so part of me want to say, yeah, let's do it.
All right, so while Conscious is thinking about it, what's your thoughts on that question, Izzy? 1,000 people harassed on the streets to get 50 guns off the streets. Do you think the juice is worth the squeeze?
Hell no, because again, it's an ecosystem. Hell no.
Yeah, I'm. That's the thing that I'm really worried about with this. We're gonna start it in DC and see how quickly we clean up DC. And then once we figure out we clean up DC so good, hey, maybe we should do it in Chicago. And God forbid if it cleans up Chicago in a year, forget it. It's over. It's over. They sending it to any city that gives you any kind of a problem. The military's there.
Yeah,
straight up.
What about the black folk who will never have police encounters? Like the majority of black folk are going to benefit from this. You are speaking to a minority that probably don't need your voice, bro.
No,
Tim Scott got harassed in D.C. as a senator twice, pulled over. Tim Scott in D.C.
Damn.
Tim Scott, like the lamest of the lame.
What you got to say to that?
I mean, they pulled him over. Did they beat him up? Did they drag him out of his car and OJ him? Like, did they give him the Rodney King, or did he just get a traffic stop?
I think you're missing the point.
I get the point, but I think you're making too much of it.
Say, just let me put the tip in. He don't really just want to put the tip in. He want to go all the way, but he just telling you that this just to see if you gonna let him do it. You think what I'm saying? That's all.
Listen, you could make it like that, but again, what is the alternative?
That we start policing.
Okay, so here's the alternative from her side. So how about this? I seen a video of a judge, a black woman judge. She got pulled over for doing absolutely nothing. She was talking to the man, and then the cop broke her tail light. And the only reason why people believed her is because she was a judge later on, and then she wound up playing the video. So what do you think that you think that is okay for people to get harassed just because of whatever?
You really gonna change the subject when I asked you what's your alternative? You gonna tell me some one-off story about a black female judge? What's the fucking alternative, bro?
The alternative is that you follow the alternative is that you follow the Constitution that you said you was going to abide by. You said that. You made the Constitution up. Follow that. That's the alternative. Simple as that. Don't take away our freedoms. And before you think about it, also, shout out to Christine. Thank you so much for being so generous. Thank you, Christine. I think in a democratic society, we shouldn't sacrifice fundamental rights for security gains, because doing so ultimately undermines the rights and security we're trying to protect. That is very well written. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that. That was very well written. And maybe now he understands my point of view, because he said it much better than I could say it. Haitian, the sensation of the two ball says, Izzy is right. Court is nothing but a bank system. Damn. So yeah, so Hood. So like I just agree with Kasim. I'm gonna read it one more time. It was so good. I think a democratic society, we shouldn't sacrifice fundamental rights for security gains. That's just my position on it. I don't think we should.
Ain't it a quote or something like it's better to have 1,000? What is it? 100? What? Never mind. Black quote. Never mind. It's gonna come to me.
Come on, Kid Cudi, you got it.
I've been chiefing. He called me. Dude said I look like Charleston White on TikTok. I look like every other black man in America.
Damn.
And like I said earlier, Sharon, I'm in the middle on this one, brother. I'm in the middle because this does potentially save lives. You know, somebody's, saying mom, dad, cousin woke up this morning because there were 50 less guns on the street. That's an honest assertion, right?
But
you could assume that.
But I kind of understand what Sharon's saying. When they're gonna stop? Like, okay, we're gonna just take all the guns. We eliminated. Look what we did there. We got rid of 50 guns. Now we're gonna get rid of all the guns. Look at no crime. So I kind of understand what he's saying. You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Literally.
Yeah, it's gonna keep on going. And don't forget the whole reason why we are a country that have the right to bear arms in the first place, so the government don't just take over. So they give us a fighting chance if the government decide to say, "Hey, we're gonna take over the country," and we can have a fighting chance.
It don't even seem like Trump really adherent to the Constitution. It's like almost his country now. Seriously, man. I
think he is. I think he is slowly. He is smart enough to. He is smart enough to attack the right people, I think. So I think when he put the war on illegals, we didn't know how far the idea was actually going to go. We thought, oh yeah, shit. We always like, yeah, just get rid of the illegals. That makes sense. Like we was like, yeah, Trump is doing a good job. And then it went from the illegals to the homeless, and then now everybody's like, hey, hold on. And then it went from the homeless, conscious moron, to the goddamn poverty. Anybody that's in poverty too, we're gonna harass you too. Everybody like, what the fuck is going on?
You're talking about something we've never seen before in American history. Absolute power. That's some dope shit. That's some high-end dope shit. And we getting to see this in real time. This is what absolute power look like. He's got full immunity. He's got the Supreme Court. He's got the House. He's got the Senate. He's got the lower courts. Right now, you're seeing the closest thing to a king that you've ever seen in American history. That's some dope shit. That's some dope shit.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
That's what we thought. That's what we thought.
He's taking over the country. Like they building.
This is what you can do with absolute power. This is some dope shit.
For whom? For him?
For him, yeah. Right now,
it ain't doing us no good.
If I was in his position,
I think that see, that's our problem. Like, if Biden was in, some people would hate that he was the president. If Trump was in, most people, but like, we kind of want our president to do good because we live in this country.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it seemed like he like, I don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm doing this me.
I don't know if it's that he don't give a F about us. I think that he is running the country the way how he run his household. And I think that's a problem. Like in your household, you are a dictator, you are the king of your house, but you can't run the country that way. You got to worry about a bunch of different people. You cannot just say just because you just cannot run it that way.
But even that has to be the one thing you realize. Like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for the opposite, for other people, the lesser of people. Ain't gonna have the power that I have, so I gotta look out for them. So, like, going into it like this, I'm about to make everything right. Like, nah.
You know what this sound like? You know what this sound like? You ever watch one of them sports movies where you got a shitty team full of lazy fat kids? And you got a coach who doesn't care. He doesn't show up. He's drinking in the car right before the practice and all of that. And then the hero white man shows up to save all these black kids and take their championship team all the way. That's what it sounds like. You niggas got a new coach and y'all unhappy.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, I don't understand where you get that.
Because that nigga is Bobby Knight. That is Bobby Knight, nigga. Donald Trump is
the funny thing is you was doing that last night with Nick Fuentes. You was loving on Nick Fuentes last night, bro.
Who?
Hood was loving.
Oh, hell no.
Where are you loving on knockoffs? That's
Nick
not even a real white man. That's a
Come on, Conservative, you agree with a good percentage of what Nick Fuentes says?
I agree with a lot of what he says, and it's funny too. That's why I use his clips, because they be funny as shit.
You was loving on that man.
Man, that's crazy.
Watch that show.
Why do you find that? Why is it okay for people to talk down on black folks to you, Conservative?
You take it as talking down, but I'm not so sensitive, so I'll just take it as niggas talking shit.
Okay, you could reword it talking shit. So why is it okay for people to talk shit about black people?
Everybody talks shit.
I think
it's better when everybody's honest, bro. It's better when everybody speaks honest and frankly.
Why is it only good for us and not for everybody else? Because we do understand that once you start talking about other folks, it ain't so simple.
Black folks spend all day talking about everybody can talk about everybody.
What's up, Chanel? No, but that's not true. Everybody can't talk about everybody. It's just not a true statement.
I mean, there's only one group of people you're not allowed to talk about, but outside of that, everybody can get it.
It's more than one group that you can't talk about. We the only group that people could just pinpoint us to one bad toxic culture, which is gangster rap, hip hop. That's the only culture black people are a part of. Everything else we not a part of. We ain't a part of no R&B music. We ain't a part of no country music. We ain't part of rock and roll. We ain't part of jazz. We ain't part of soul. We ain't part of funk. We are only known to be a part of gangster rap, toxic, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. That's the only thing we do. While yet other people's negativity, people do not hold them to that. That's my only issue with it. If we're going to call it like that for us, we got to call it like that across the board for everybody. Scarface is just as bad as goddamn Nino Brown, but for some reason, Scarface is known as a goddamn hero while Nino Brown is a degenerate. I don't understand.
I don't know. Nino in the hood, Nino love. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't get that.
Well, we had a black sitting mayor actually dressed up as Nino Brown while conducting official government business for her black town. Oh shit! Fucking 18-wheel almost ran me off the road. Son of a bitch.
Okay, so what's that? I'm glad that you're okay. So, all right,
yeah, I'm good. Ain't nobody killing me today, bro. I'm good.
All right, you brought that up to say what?
Well, don't act like black folk are being falsely compared to Nino Brown when our fucking leadership is playing Nino Brown officially while conducting government business, bro. We got to hold ourselves to the fire if you're going to feel some type of way about it.
So you're saying because that's the problem. On Halloween, she's portraying Nino Brown in her business.
No, that wasn't Halloween. That was an actual what do you call that? Like what happens when they do state business? It was like an assembly meeting or something like that. That was an official government meeting. Yes, bro. This was Tiffany Henyard. Yeah, that was Tiffany Henyard, bro. Look it up.
Like Nino Brown?
Yeah, brought a little fake dog and everything, bro. So, like, niggas be doing it to themselves and then get mad when people look at them the way that they present themselves.
And you said the Tiffany, the radical. Okay, she's a nut job.
Right. So, but
what sucker move did I do? Why they put me in stuff?
Here's a comparison. So, like, we know. Yeah.
I apologize, man. What sucker move did I do? I ain't even been saying shit. What did I do?
Somebody said you did a sucker move.
Someone talking about sucker move, Izzy, but I understand. What did I do? I ain't even said shit. Quiet, listening, respectful. What the hell did I do?
Hey, you get cursed, you just get people feel like hey, they don't,
okay.
if they don't get at you, they get fined for it. So they got
no doubt. All right, my bad. Carry on, my fault.
But no, so my problem is that we know it's politicians that dress up as Scarface, right? We know that. We know politicians that dress up as all types of degenerate things. And what I'm saying is why are we so much harder on black folks than any other race? Why is that okay? Please make that make sense, conservative.
Hold on. What is the question? Because you lost me for a second.
Why do you love hating us so much?
Yeah, I don't understand why it's so much self-hate towards black folks. Anything a black person does is under the microscope, but as soon as an Italian politician dress up as Scarface or make a Scarface reference, nobody would bat an eyelash. Nobody would say anything about it. I think that is crazy.
Honestly, Italians, generally speaking, don't want to be associated with the mob. Like, it's a real sensitive thing for most Italians. Like, especially if you're trying to do something, and, look, I'm not one of those people. Like a lot of Italians don't want to play up the mafia the way a lot of black folk want to play up Nino Brown.
You think people go to work thinking that they're Nino Brown?
Top of that, little Italian kid, the children of the mafia, you know who the mafia kids act like? Niggas.
So hold on, let's also realize who we were talking about. Tiffany Henyard, she was somebody that was doing a whole bunch of nonsense in the first place. She's not even credible. We know she was doing a whole bunch of nonsense and she was robbing the city blind. Like, so we can't even use Tiffany Henyard as a real excuse.
Wait. So she dressed up like Nino Brown and she robbed the city blind. Nigga, right. That is black leadership to a fucking team. No.
So okay, but you see that's the problem. You saying that's black leadership, but it's plenty of other white politicians that did what she did, or even worse. Even worse. They've been doing it for years. But you want to highlight on a black woman. That's the wild part about it. Why are you so much harder on black people than other races? Is my question to you.
Don't you expect more from your woman than you expect from other bitches?
There it goes.
That's it.
There it goes.
So the reason
it's a combination of things.
So you just hold black people at a higher standard than any other race.
You can hear
like I said, don't you expect more from your woman than you do from any other bitches? That's such a silly thing to go against, bro. It's crazy. You would think that's wild.
So you felt the same way about Marion Barry? What about Ray Nagin, the mayor of New Orleans? You felt the same
when
way?
When your brother fucks up, it hurts more than when some random nigga fucks up, bro.
All right, so therefore you do hold black people at a higher standard than every other race in this country.
I'm not making it a higher standard. It's not about a higher standard. It's about relation. Like I said, when your family goes wrong, it matters. When somebody else fucks up, listen, people fuck up every day.
So you saying we
should?
All right.
So if people fuck up every day, why is it not okay for a black politician to fuck up?
Because he's fucking my shit up.
All right. So what I'm saying is, why is it that you put a black politician on all black people, but a white politician fucking up? Be like, oh, that's just him fucking up.
Well, mostly because he's robbing white people.
Excuse me.
That's wild.
Oh, so I should care about the white victims of white crime? You want me to care about the white victims of white crime, but I'm wrong for caring about the black people who rob black people.
No, what I want you to do is hold them to the same standard. If a white politician do something, I want you to say white people.
No. I hold black people against black accountability. Why do I constantly have to look at white people to make it make sense, bro? I want you niggas to make sense without having to look at the white man.
Because the problem is that you're not holding any other race to the same standard. That's the issue.
I don't belong to nobody else, bro. You niggas are stuck with me. You niggas are stuck with me. You made me, you gotta deal with me.
All right, but it's not about. Okay. Welcome to the show, Uncle Jeff. Good day, Uncle Jeff. What is your thoughts so far on the conversation?
Hey, man. Everybody hear me good?
Yes, we get you well.
Okay. Number one, I got to holler at Conscious Moron. That backdrop is a monster, sir. It's a monster. I'm hating openly because I don't have one.
Thank you.
It's fly. It looks like you're standing there and you just did that shit. Number two, I'm gonna have to, and I'm coming in a little early, but because everybody's smart. Again, everybody has a room to be right. Where Hood is right at is this. With every other group of people, I give what the White House gives to us in tragedy, my thoughts and prayers. Whenever you hear me speak, I am speaking Black first. I don't fiddler's fuck about other people's problems above mine. As Black people, it's hard for me to critique your grass when my house is on fire. My house is on fire. I don't have time to talk about. The only thing I can do with the foibles of other races is use them as cautionary tales to get my shit together over on this side of the fence. So from that place, not only is Hood Conservative holding Black people to a higher standard, he's not the only one. The people that are older than me that we looked up to used to tell you you have to do twice as much to get half as far. Hood Conservative didn't invent that, and neither did I. We have always been told to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We have dropped the ball. As a matter of fact, my generation, the 60-somethings, dropped the ball and left bullshit in the laps of y'all right now. So yes, we are supposed to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Now I'll say this and I'll land. I don't hold Black politicians to any standard, because what Black people are expecting them to do is change basketball to hockey. This game is built and rigged with you at the bottom. I don't expect them to do anything. I look at politics the same way that Armenians do, almost how the Amish do, that it is far more important what I do with my people than what I expect from the people I vote for. And I'll leave it there.
And Conscious Mara, I just seen your question. Yes, you can. So Uncle Jeff, my only issue with it is when we hold in our own people to a higher standard, that is understood. The main problem I have with it is that when other people are holding us to a higher standard.
Okay.
That's a problem. They should not be able to talk bad about our people to us, and we allow it to happen. Like, hey,
absolutely.
I can say that about my brother. I could talk about Hood Sir, but once Nick Fuentes or whoever he thinks that's when it becomes a violation.
Absolutely.
So Hood Conservative, he's double-minded at the sense that he is saying that, yes, I hold my own people to a high standard because that's my sister, that's my girl, whatever, how he try to put it together. But now once the man across the street is talking about my goddamn woman, hey, we got a problem to keep my wife's name out your goddamn mouth, sir.
Right, I feel you, but I got to ask you this now.
What's up, April?
And I'm gonna need you to fill me in because I could be, and no, I won't pause. That pause shit is for young dudes whose manhood is under attack. I'm 60, mine isn't. I'm gonna have to ask you: wasn't there a time that there was a white girl that came over here and ran all willy-nilly with the word nigga, and people were upset with you about the tack you took with it?
No, because she didn't run willy-nilly. What happened was people was trying to run with a narrative that it was ran willy-nilly. She got put in her place and her daddy got put in his place.
Okay, well, like I said, I just bring it up. I didn't know, not judging. And you're absolutely right.
That's a fair question because people they try to paint me as a certain narrative all the time, you know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. And I'm glad you did ask the question for clarity instead of accusing me like most people would have done. So I appreciate it.
You know what, Sharon, bruh? There are, and this is my own personal growth. There are things that people say and do on social media that if I really don't like, well, nigga, make some clips and talk about it. But don't
Don't accuse me.
Don't accuse. Well, I do this. I look at the facts and I call balls and strikes. That's why it's a lot like prime example. I pay no attention to the half-raised porch monkeys in your chat, and you won't throw them out. So whoever, I'm not right now, I'm ignoring the chat. I've turned it off. I don't know what you're going to say to this, but to those of you who have bullshit to say to me, I won't talk about your mom, but I will suggest that you go fuck your mother's dog. Now, yeah, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to fuck your mother's dog.
No.
You don't have to, but you can. Feel free to. Feel free to if you don't like what I said. And please know that I'm not watching what you type. Now let's see you. Now here's where you see the social dysfunction. Okay. Watch these monkeys start typing in response to what I say as if I'm really looking at the chat. And I'm really not. On my children's eyes, I'm not looking at the chat. And I'm not gonna. This is my new thing. I like it's like having special needs kids in the cage, like the hills have eyes. One of your eyes is higher, and I just come by and just rattle your fucking cage and keep walking. I don't care what your response is. I'm on my way to something more important.
Right. So,
but yeah,
yes.
So, but at any rate, I'm I'm not anti anything. I'm just incredibly fucking pro-black.
And I think that is fair, but my only issue is that a lot of these black conservatives, Uncle Jack, they claim that they are pro-black and they love black folks so much. However, they allow non-black folks to talk about black folks. I have an issue with that.
Well, that's because they think they're American before they're black.
Oh,
you think you're American before you black. You think you that same thing with women who make
that was a good call. That was a good call, Jeff.
That's a very interesting point. Let me make sure this is my homegirl. Good day, Chanel. Is that you?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to make sure that was you because I see you probably from a different place.
I'm good.
Okay. Welcome to the show, beautiful. What is your thoughts? Chanel, you're the only beautiful one here. So what is your thoughts?
Muted. She might be muted. Yeah, good. Thank God. Thank God that you that way, sir.
While she get her microphone together.
Yeah, she might be muted or something.
Yeah, she might be muted on her side. Maybe she don't realize it, but you are muted. I don't know how she muted herself. Or maybe she got a phone call or something of that nature. But hood service. So that's where we stand at with this situation of you agreeing with like people like Nick Fuentes and saying that it is okay for non-black folks to talk down on black folks. I have an issue with that. And why don't you, hoodservative?
You know, Sharon, you have a way of phrasing things or framing a question that I have to just completely reject the entirety of the question. I'll speak to the issue though, but we're going to put your question on the side table for the children. That's a kiddie table question. I don't hate Nick Fuentes because it's hard for me to criticize a person who makes the same observations that I may make.
What?
I'd like to respond to that when it's my turn.
Please, go ahead.
Okay.
I'd like to hear your response to that.
Here's my huge issue with that, hoodservative. There are a number of things, a number of flaws about my daughter that you may pick up when you see her that I may speak to her either on the spot or in private about. If you open your mouth, hoodservative, I warn you now, if you ever meet my daughter and you open your mouth foul in front of her, I will blow your brains out on the 50-yard line of the Super Bowl at halftime in a white fucking suit. Because it is not your place to tell the truth because you don't own the truth. The truth isn't yours. There are certain things that I am dead ass right about Iran, about put the names up, bro. You know I'm high. About conscious moron, about Lord.
No, Jeff.
There are
things. 50-yard line now. That's a lot, Jeff. That's a lot of
Bruh,
50-yard line.
I will walk out. I will moonwalk. If you put your hands on my baby, I will moonwalk out to the 50-yard line, get attention, and then turn around and put my shit to your temple and splatter the goddamn mascot with your brains. I have no problem with that.
As long as you do that shit during that Kendrick Lamar performance, that would have made it better.
That's hilarious. But
That
here's
is
my
funny.
point. Okay, let's not get away from the point.
What's your rebuttal to that? Because that's a very good point. Damn.
Especially, well, let me add some more while he figure his shit out. Especially in light of I could put up some pictures here and ask you to keep your opinion. Those will be pictures of lynchings. Those will be pictures of water hoses. And there's this one video I know this man and his family hates. And everybody gonna know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about when I bring it up. You know the dude that get blew up against the wall in black and white with the water hose? How many times have you seen that? We've seen that 500 times in black and white. He's on the right side of the screen. The water hose is coming from the left, and it blasts this brother up against the wall. Everybody has seen that. I want you to think about that, Hood Conservative. When you think about a white man who is running his mouth reckless about our people, and I want you to ask yourself this. If your mother had a flat tire on the side of the road in the wrong side of this country, and those who mean us harm were about to do harm to your mother, what do you think this dude talking would say or do?
I would like
again with all the leading questions. That's crazy. Let me respond real quick though.
How's that a leading question?
Can you hear me?
Just let him respond. It's okay. Let him respond. Go ahead.
Well, the assumption that the vast majority of them will just harm you at random is a little bit too much for me. I've traveled too far and wide to just assume that.
Okay.
I think the issue is this, Jeff. Father to father, girl dad to girl dad. I accept your premise 1000%. I'm not going to pick at it at all, right? Now, let's set our actual fatherhood aside because we both actually have daughters. But let me make the point objectively.
Okay.
If your child,
bro, you breaking up. You breaking up hard.
I have nothing to say.
No, I didn't hear. You broke up super duper hard, bro. Repeat that.
Can you hear me again? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I respect everything you said, right? But let's say your child is like pissing on my front step. Now I have to talk about your child pissing on my front step, and so what's happening? DC happened because they beat the crap out of some white kid who's connected to Trump, right? And so it's not like you're just being talked about for no apparent reason. Your flaws that you would like to keep hush hush are spilling onto other people's lawns, so they have to be talked about.
Okay, okay. Let's follow that for a second. Let's follow that. Let's say you're right. Let's say that your steps are being pissed on, and you need to talk to me personally about my daughter pissing on your steps. That's an infraction. That's not an observation. Here's an observation. When the dude who isn't a white supremacist, is not a white supremacist, that lives across the street, is standing on the porch next door to full-on Nazis, and he's standing on their porch, and he makes a comment that's even, although accurate, even mildly snide about my daughter pissing on your steps. You know what my plan is? My plan is to wait till it's late at night and light their back porch on fire, and they all run out the front. Right when they get in the grass, let them have it. Because they have no business with their mouth on my daughter. I don't give a damn. She took a shit. on your porch. I don't like the way
Now,
they
now you
speak.
see, Jeff, we gone too far here because the issue isn't people talking about the daughter. The issue is the daughter shitting and pissing all over porches and lawns.
No, brother. No. Here's why that's not the issue. Because we haven't discussed whether or not my daughter pissing on your steps should be punitive. Maybe my daughter pissed on your steps because she's been standing outside in the rain at the wrong address. Could be.
You see how far you just stretched that, bro? That was a reach like a bug, bro.
Okay, so
That was a Mr. Fantastic reach, bro.
Wait a minute. That was a reach. But someone pissing on your steps ain't. I gotta wonder where you live, sir.
That's a
Well, hold on. That's a polite metaphor. That's a polite metaphor. But the white kid got beat up. That's not piss on step. That's an actual factual. So I'm using a polite metaphor. So, but it's a real thing.
Hold on. So no, this is why. I want to jump in real quick. This is why it's not a real thing. And Uncle Jeff is spot on by saying that you went to an extreme, and this is why he had to go ahead and assist with the extreme as well.
And now I'm extreme.
Right. So he had so he could just build on the topic that you was having, right? But the problem is that when we are talking about our people, is one thing when we criticize our people, but it's another version when other people criticize our people, not criticize them, they people. That's when it becomes an issue. It's one thing saying, hey, black folks is doing XYZ, but they ain't never talking about the white folks that's doing XYZ, or the Mexican, or the XY, whoever else. Talk about them first. Don't talk about us first and acting like we are the ones that's bringing America down when it ain't us, and we are not majority of the population to bring it down in the first place.
It's called using black pain to build wealth. And there are a lot of brothers, a lot of white people who do that. And let's not talk about DJ, what's his name, and his comment a couple of days ago, right? About FBAs. Yeah. Somebody who would have been a nobody if it wasn't for us, right? Building out his platform, bringing through, saying these artists. And then the way they kind of handled us, though, is bullshit. Fat Joe should know better. He should know better than that shit.
Why?
Yet he disrespects us too.
No, we don't own anything. Like, the only time people gonna really know and care is when you have some stake in it. We don't have any stake in it, so why would they really care what we say?
But to say you created hip hop, that Puerto Ricans created hip hop, that's disrespect.
We don't have any stake in it, so we can't claim any of it, unfortunately.
No, we do have stake in it. We do claim it, and nobody believes that nobody believes that Latino anyway.
I got that.
You know what I'm saying? He a Latino.
I got that.
Well, no one else is responsible for your history but you.
Right.
That's number one. I am so glad, I am so glad that they are taking Black history out of schools, because it was lies anyway. There is, as I told my children, do you know who's responsible for what your children know about Black history? They said us. I said, wrong, me. As their grandfather, I'm the one who can tell them the furthest I can reach back is 1904. And I can't reach back any further because of what happened to us as a people. But I can tell you who your people are to there. I don't make anyone responsible. Guess who else don't make America responsible for teaching their kids? Armenians, Koreans, Chinese. They got writing on the walls. You go in their neighborhood, you don't know if you're in a hospital or a goddamn pet store. You don't know where you are. And they don't make you responsible for teaching their kids. Only we allow our oppressors to teach our children.
But like how I was raised, like we learned both. We learned how the oppressors thought and what the actual factual was. Like,
sure,
I had people like literally give me like firsthand accounts, but they was like, no, you gonna learn what he say too, because you gotta know what he
right.
Defeat them.
You gotta know your enemy.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing our generation has forgot to, because like I said, my uncle, he kind of told me the story how we got, because I was born in Ohio, but my family from Alabama. I'm like, how you get up here? And he couldn't read or write or anything, but he said, my grandmother got a white man was hitting on her in the town we from, and he had to whip on him, and he had to leave town.
Sheesh. That's a ill story. And somebody like
You
conservative
don't never hear them stories.
Yeah, conservative say that's not a real story.
You don't never hear them stories.
Kyler, he was so country. But like he didn't go. The crazy part is I was born in 78. He didn't go back till I was born, and like he left early 30s because my mom eventually ended up moving up there, meet my father and everything. But he was up there. I want to say early. It had to be like late 1920s.
And so my main problem that I do be having, Uncle Jeff, is that a lot of black conservatives, they are just talking a lot of talking points with no facts behind it. They just throw a bunch of crazy. They say, look at these women twerking, like that have something to do with the black community as a whole. That is such a small part of the black community that it shouldn't even be talked about. Gangster rap music shouldn't even be talked about it being a part of our toxic culture. What about all the other cultures that we have put forth into the forefront?
All of that, I put that all. I put that all in the same big bag of so fucking what. I don't. Number one, what other people think of you is none of your business. We have plenty to keep us busy, other than worried about what some backwards inbred banjo picking country fuck trailer trash has to say. As you can tell, I've said that before because it goes right out my face.
I think, Jeff, even though there's a lot of truth in that, especially like from a self-confidence point of view, the reality is, though, I think black folk do want the respect of other groups of people, whatever that may mean to you individually. And in order to be respected, you must do things of respect. And that's where the rubber hits the road. Like only winners get really respected. And so ultimately you have to do the things that make people look up to you. Otherwise, it's just a desire.
Okay. Well, if I may, go ahead, brother Conscious, if you want to go ahead.
We actually have, if you think about it, our plight here in America to make nothing, to be taken from everything and still be, I want to say as good as we should be, but still be a factor in this country. That's amazing in itself. Like, could you think the white boy could do? Nick, for instance, is complaining about his plight of the last 8 years. Think about our plight of the last 80 years, bro. That's nothing.
Yes. Furthermore, brother Conscious, I am wow. You just cracked my brain open on something. Do you understand that we can actually separate black tragedy in this country from slavery because there's plenty more? There's plenty more. Crack isn't plenty more. COINTELPRO isn't plenty more. And I'm not using those as excuses. Let's discuss. First off, I feel that Republican and Democrat are terms that white people use to describe each other. They ain't even think about your black ass. You're the dread. Really? You really think that? Okay. Anyway, two, I believe that Republican values are excellent in a vacuum. If you take out redlining, if you take out Flint water, if you take out sending lead paint on purpose to inner city schools to paint the walls with, if you take out on sending on purpose toys with lead paint in them in the 70s that were discontinued for having lead paint in them, these are facts. If you discount the trains of free weapons that were dropped off, I happen to know people. I happen to have seen a shipment dropped off one morning in my alley in Chicago. Now, if you're going to take all of that out, then the Republicans are absolutely right. But you're not going to take that out. And they're not. And you can forget you black all you want to. They never will. And a hush fell over the goddamn room.
Made me think about what Diane King said. If you're a rich nigga, you're still gonna be a nigga.
Damn.
I'll tell you, okay.
That was good.
If I could.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
If I could, something Conscious just said. Bruh, let me tell you something. Conscious, if you hit Powerball this weekend, and blessings to you, I hope that happens if you play. There is a neighborhood here in Los Angeles called Hancock Park that if you hit Powerball for $300 million, you can't move in because ain't none of them people gonna sell you a house.
Damn.
They don't sell their houses like that. Brother Saul, when cousin Micah and cousin Rachel get married, Uncle Saul and Uncle Abraham get on the phone, and Uncle Saul sells that house to them through Uncle Abraham, and your ass ain't gonna never get the keys to it. That's how they get down. And black people love, especially black Republicans, they love factoring that shit out because that gives them a chance. That gives them the opportunity to use talking points to show their frustrations for their own people. And they don't have to do that because I'm frustrated with the same niggas you are, Hood Conservative. I don't like that shit neither. But do I think, am I foolish enough to think that Republicans are my friends? Brother, no, I am not. And I have lived life at its highest and lowest levels. And I'm telling you, I don't.
Great point. That's a great point. The fact that they believe that all of a sudden because you vote that way that they're gonna care more about black folks. That's not the case.
What? Don't hit me upside the head with this friendship argument as if the majority of black folk have been voting for Republicans, right? Your friends don't convince your woman to live apart from your man. Your friends don't convince your daughters to abort your offspring, right? That's not friend behavior. And that's not the Republicans. That's the Democrats that black folk have been stuck with for 60, 70 years. So you can miss me with that little friend argument, bro. Let's find real friends if that's who you got on the table.
To connect AB to just a democratic situation, to instead of that, people are using baby deletion as a form of birth control is crazy. We know that it's not just a female thing at that. Majority of the men that impregnate those women, they want the woman to go ahead and do it in the first place. That's why they
still doesn't make it
her body.
This is also why
her body, her choice, bro.
Make it any less reckless or irresponsible.
Her body, her choice. You can't put that on me at all. You cannot put that on me whatsoever. If her body, her choice is the law of the land, I am out the equation no matter how much I gave her.
So the problem is is your body, your choice first. You put your body.
No, I chose coochie. She chose murder. Those are different choices. My choice was a life-making choice. Her choice is a life-ending choice. Don't act like we're the same. We are not the same.
It is the same because the majority of men that do it, they are all for it. They the ones that's paying for it. They the ones that would force the girl to go ahead and do it. We got two examples of men in the red pill community that literally force the girls to do it. Literally.
Okay. If I could, I have a solution to this. And I'm gonna need y'all's help. I'm gonna start my campaign work on it. I think you've seen your last president. We're not gonna have another one, which is why I am running for emperor. As emperor, I will be able to make laws unilaterally. One of them will be my body, my choice. I believe every woman should have my body, my choice, to include prostitutes. If you want to sell it, you should be able to. And this will be the law. Every Planned Parenthood will share a parking lot with a Denny's and a Hoe House. This way, If prostitution is legal, now there is a place that is state sanctioned. These women are clean and sexy. These is women that like to fuck anyway. They are going to do so on behalf of the state so that you don't waste good girls' time that you want to date, and you can go right here, and for the price of a weekend, you can fuck a girl and recreationally sport fuck. That way, nobody's getting pregnant. Nobody's getting hamstrung. Now we don't have those issues. And I also agree with you, Brother Sharon. No man gets to tell a woman what to do, how to be responsible after his sperm leaves him. Your turn at responsibility is before you have sex with her. Your question is to ask yourself, why are you laying down with somebody and giving them the power to destroy 2 decades of your life? Why are you doing that? If you don't see this woman carrying your seed, do not put it in her. Go across the street, have you some Denny's, and go on in this whole house where they fucking at.
Blue plate.
Now,
I'm glad I've never been to a Denny's. You know.
No, Sherrod. And now I'm gonna tell you this, and I'll land it here. If you get a woman pregnant in a state of affairs like I just mentioned,
yes, this is live.
You are absolutely on the hook for child support, because there's a place you could have went and fucked for fun. You could have went and sport fucked. I gave you a place to sport fuck with some girls that was fine. The whole houses will have ratings. Okay. You want to go fuck? You want to go fuck some sixes? Here's a 6-rated whole house.
Oh, the yelp.
I mean, it's an interesting point, you know, because a lot of men out here, you know.
I agree with him a little bit on it. I don't know about the Denny's part, but it should be sanctioned. I definitely agree with that, because you could use tax benefits. You go get a lot of dudes who can't get none, who feel rejected. They go, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to release, get it off, and they
come on.
You know, I kind of see what he's saying, but I don't know about the Denny.
Okay, well, okay. Right now, I'm considering you for my cabinet, brother. Brother Conscious. You can pick the restaurants. You work on that. Think about it.
Okay.
The point is, the grand point I am making is that prostitution works opposite of family. Family is a group of workers. That's
Brother
why.
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Brother Jeff, you realize outside of maybe Nevada, prostitution is generally illegal.
Yes.
So, I mean, should every man in the country travel to Nevada?
No, I just said I was emperor. Prostitution is no.
Okay. All right. Never mind. I forgot Emperor game. Okay. Never mind. Yes. Continue.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, this is, and what we are speaking is quite possible. I really could run against this dude. The national anthem would become Flashlight. There would be weed being blown into cars as they go onto the freeway, which would there would be a lot less speeding and a lot less accidents, a lot more courtesy.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
Damn, I haven't did one of those in a long time. Goddamn. I think you the first one since I came back, Uncle Jeff. They said, oh shit. I said, give Uncle Jeff a timeout, please. Sheesh. Also, we got Dolomite. He says, Malcolm X, everyone, the truth is dangerous in the community. Shout out to Dolomite. Shout out to Slimmy. Oh, crazy as hell.
I didn't want to step all over Jeff's little emperor scenario fantasy game with some white man logic, but I'm pretty sure as emperor, you don't get elected. Nobody votes for the emperor. You just somehow become under his rule one day. Like how this happened to me.
Right, but what Uncle Jeff is really talking about is for all the men that don't want to have responsibility of creating babies and worrying about women deleting their babies. You could go ahead and sport fuck. You go get you some food, go sport sex. I'm trying not to curse. And I'm trying not to, you know what I'm saying? And you go ahead and you do your damn thing. So this way you don't gotta worry about baby deletion. So now the women that want to have babies, they out there in the world looking, and they're gonna find the other men that's at the IHOP because Denny's is where the hoes at. So IHOP must be where the good girls at. So they go to the IHOP, they do their damn thing, find a partner, and they do their thing. They don't need no plan B. But the problem is, it's a lot of men out there. They out there sport sexing, and then they either try to make the girl to force her to take a plan B, or they putting up $300 themselves to make sure she go ahead and get that baby deletion. That's the issue.
We were doing really good. We spent this whole day not getting into a gender politics thing. I only brought up the whole AB issue to talk about the idea that Republicans are somehow not your friends, but black folk are definitely not in a friendship with the Democrats if this is what they have to offer. That was my whole point. It's not. I do not want a gender war with you tonight. I don't.
No problem.
And that's
Welcome
not
back
even
to the show, Slimmy. Why you do that to that man? What up,
man?
Slimmy?
I ain't want to be up here at the same time with that fool. No. No, man, I just thought it was just too extreme, man. Like, come on, man. We can't be championing prostitution, dog, as a means of birth control. Like that's ultimately what he was saying. Like, just sleep with a prostitute so you can't have kids. Like, nah, dog. We just gonna be disciplined. We gonna be disciplined.
I mean, that's not even to speak of the STI rates, right?
Well, yeah, that too. But we gonna be disciplined and just choose the right woman, dog. We all be making mistakes out here, man. We just slept with some booger wolves, just because we had too many drinks at the bar. But when you sober, think things through, man, and just get with the right woman, man. Like at the end of the day, it might not last forever. Shoot, it might last 2 months. It might last a year. But man, think things through before you mess around. It's easier said than done. I understand. Right. I understand. It's way easier said than done because dude was right. Once you decide you want to shoot up the club, well, then it is her decision. You leaving that up to the woman. Like she don't have to be with you. She don't have to allow you around them kids. Don't even put yourself in that situation. I'm 45. I ain't got no kids for a reason. I could talk this because I was a very well-known person amongst battle rappers on a college campus full of people. Yes, I didn't have my fair share, but I was smart about it. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart, man. That's just the bottom line. And a lot of us are being reckless. Yeah, women being reckless too, but we gotta be leaders. We gotta be men. We gotta be leaders, man. We gotta be leaders. And yeah, I do agree that they need to change some of the shit. I don't even agree with abortion. I'm completely against it. But you allowing it to be in the woman's hands once you decide to shoot. You don't even gotta shoot up the club, dog. Just really think about that. You don't have to shoot up the club. You don't. You don't have to look this woman in her eyes while she's right there on you, and you just release. Hell no, dog. Hell no. No, can't do that, bro. Like,
especially
can't do that.
And if she's Spanish, all you gotta do is kiss her on the cheek.
What?
Yeah, you have it. Monday night Mexican fight over here.
Oh, that's wild. That is wild.
Gentlemen who were around you on the college campus were as responsible as you.
Do I think what?
The gentlemen who were around you on that college campus were responsible as you, or they were just shooting up the club like, man.
Yeah, y'all know one of them. His name is Chaotic Truth. He was on the same college campus. That's my dog.
But y'all went to the school at the same time?
We went to the same college, yes, sir.
At the same time?
Yep. Yeah, that's my dog in real life. Yeah. He was there. It was dudes. See, it was dudes there. It was dudes running it up. Don't get that shit twisted. It was dudes running it up. They was being reckless. But I noticed it was dudes. They wasn't associating with a certain type of woman there. She could be. They weren't gonna do it. Them dudes was thinking about their future, and like a lot of dudes, they just was like, I'm not messing with that. Maybe it was because I really can't tell you the reason, but dudes they was staying away from certain type of women, and it was dudes that just wasn't dealing with no white girls, and it was mostly white girls there. It was dudes they just weren't gonna deal with no white girls, bro. They wasn't, and like I can't now the football and the basketball team. I don't know. They was running it up. It wasn't on the field in the court. They was running it up though, man. Like
locker room.
He said they was doing suicides and not on the basketball court.
Oh yeah, that's where I learned the term campus loot, bro. Campus loot. That was a term that I learned at that school, and they wasn't playing no games about that. It was women that was just getting ran through. But the thing is, though, once you know that that's campus loot, you definitely should strap up, and you definitely shouldn't shoot up the club.
Right.
So it's simple. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to be the accountable ones, man. We know women gonna be emotional. We know women gonna be reckless. We know what women are gonna do. But we gotta be accountable.
So Hood Service said he didn't want to turn this into a gender war. That's fine. So I got a question for you, Slimmy. Do you think we should hold black people more accountable than any other race in America?
For what? Well, you got to be specific.
I wish they were specific. So that's why it has to be so general. So for the negative things that happens in America.
What? Wait, what?
We are responsible for all the negative things that happen in America. So anything
that's not true.
Anything that happened negative in the blue state is black people's fault.
No, that's not true.
Welfare, welfare, Slimmy, they always say, "Oh, that's black people's fault."
Well, it's more white people on welfare than black. But the thing is, the problem is like we didn't need none of that stuff. This where I will hold black people accountable. We made it through slavery. We made it through civil rights together. And then it seems as if once the black woman decided to divest from the black man and take on the independent role, we just made it look like it was all women. And we still stopped trying to find the good ones, which is understandable. That's understandable. That's fair. Like you see all these women, they on their independent journey. It's all the music, and that's a part of the problem. Like we allowed a certain group to dictate what our black culture is. And you know what group I'm talking about, because they control the media, they control entertainment. So we allowed them to dictate what black culture is. And see, the problem with black people, we're so programmed. You know, we fall for the same plays. We are the most programmed group because it's easy to program us because all of us look alike. All black. So you can't. So the thing is, Irish people, Italians, Russians, all those groups of people, they look the same, even though we all know that they're different. Overall, they look the same because their skin is the same color. So black people, we are easily programmed because in all reality, they can show African babies on TV and have us donate, and we just program instantly. Oh, they look like us. We gotta help them, right? So this is all programming. Then if you see somebody all across, and maybe in Louisiana or whatever, they might have been a fucking criminal, right? They might have been a criminal. They might have been a criminal who escaped or whatever they did, and you see black people helping them out, right? And we're automatically just thinking like, damn, we gotta help these people out too. They look like us, but we are relinquishing ourselves from any moral code to do some of these things. That's our problem, is the programming. So for instance, another instance is we started accepting sassy culture. Like that was not a black thing. It was taboo. It was taboo in the 80s. Come on now, Sharon. You know that was taboo. Now we got Tyler Perry. And wearing dresses is cool.
Did you see It's Like Candy video before? It's like
candy.
Yeah, that video was
you can't don't do cameo like that. Don't do cameo like that. Don't do cameo like that. But yeah, they was teetering. Prince was teetering. They were teetering on the line. But what I'm saying is now it's overwhelming though. Can we agree that now it's overwhelming? And we've been programmed to think like, okay, for instance, look at, I don't know if y'all saw Lil Uzi Vert yesterday when they showed a picture of him. He had on a blouse and he had on sheer gloves. And he looked like a woman. He looked like a woman. And this is now the norm for, even if we thought they were bad rappers, even if we're not supposed to look at them as any type of model, citizen, or whatever, or role model. Excuse me, that's what I'm looking for. If we're not supposed to look at them as a role model, they still had a certain distinguished look. They look pretty tough. Most of them did, but now they look sassy. They look sassy now. It's a lot of it's just like everything is freaking Rainbow War.
But don't you think? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Conscious. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you saying all people are programmed, because look how MAGA acts. Like even with the Epstein list, man. Like people are programmed. Unfortunately, they don't want to think for themselves. I don't just think it's black people, because like
no, it's not. But I'm only referring to the question I was asked though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm saying what I think the problem is. If we're gonna go with that narrative to blame black people for things that's going on, okay, well, the programming is the problem. We've been programmed. We listen to everything. I could go back to the whole fucking thing where I was up here talking earlier about Jay-Z. That was programming. He wanted to be the face of the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, we're gonna let you be the face, but you gotta be the face of gentrification too. And we gonna hide our hand, and we gonna put this Russian in front of everything and make you think that this Russian is the owner. How 5 years later the Russian not even the owner no more?
Damn.
He's not even the owner anymore. He just got out of there. What? Because they was a losing franchise? They still making money. Why would he just disappear? Frontmen. They were the front men. They were the front men for gentrification to change over Brooklyn. Who runs New York? The same group. Come on now, it's the same group. They program everybody. They program us to think that it, and people gonna think I'm crazy for this. And this is also programming to think that white supremacy actually exists and is a real thing. Because who's white?
Now this is where I want to jump in. You were earlier getting on me. You were earlier getting on me about Nick Fuentes, right? Who is questionably white himself, right? And these are all. No, I'm saying Nick Fuentes is questionably white. Now the point is.
Wait! You might be having me confused with somebody. I didn't argue with nobody.
No. It's not you. It's not you. I want to jump in at that point because you're building up to something that they were getting on me about earlier, and everything you're talking about.
Well, let me finish. Go
ahead. I'm sorry. You got it.
Let me finish. Excited. So the problem is, I want this to be known why I say there's no white supremacy, because there's green supremacy. All them people up there that got the money, they don't care what color you are. They don't care. And they don't care about who don't have the money.
You know
that goes for everybody.
That's why they don't care.
You say what?
They all the same color. That's why they don't care about.
No, they're not. It's deeper than color, bro. It's deeper than color. And that's why.
They all not.
Hold on.
They all not the same color. They all not the same color. Because what happened was we got indoctrinated into that too. Because that's how you get a certain group that created the Divine Nine. That's how you get that group. Because they wanted to be a part of that. They wanted to be a part of that 1%. Yeah, there are black people in that 1%. It ain't just them. It's green supremacy. If you got the money, you rule the world.
Right.
You talk about like the talented 10th mentality almost in a sense.
You say what?
You talking about like the talented 10th mentality with W.E.B. Du Bois?
I don't. I'm not sure about that.
You know
But
he
what I'm
said,
referring to is Prince Hall. Prince Hall.
he said like 10% of black
Right.
people could tell the 90% of the other black people how to live their lives, but then they started
God
looking
damn, Chanel.
And then
1,000%?
Yeah, I mean, she probably don't understand what I'm talking about.
But
No, listen,
a lot of people don't.
yeah.
A lot of people are still in their programming. A lot of people are still in their programming. My bad. I'm sorry,
Earlier, Nick Fuentes, you tried to hold him against me like there's something wrong here. And I just want to point out to you the reason why a lot of black folk are not tripping on a kid like Nick Fuentes. And he really, if you actually listen to him, he does not hate black folk. When he does talk about black folk, he's not on some white supremacy, they all gotta go bullshit. You don't listen to him, so you really don't know. Most niggas really hear shit through the grapevine and take it as true. And now you be having a conversation about shit. The thing is, when it comes to all of that, who's really in charge, who's making everybody fight each other for their own personal benefit, that is the shit that makes people listen to him. And that's the type of conversation that people are on right now. It's not really about this, some random white person somewhere is out to ruin your life. Like, no, there is a system out there, and it's not called white supremacy.
Wow.
What is it then? What do you call it? I'm just curious. I'm not challenging you.
It's something. It tastes like bagels. That's what it reminds me of. It tastes like bagels.
Bagels? No, I'm really confused.
Definitely.
Well, because you had to taste the bagel. If you've ever tasted a bagel, you would know.
Wow.
Is this cold?
Slim, you get to think about it. A bagel.
That's kind of crazy.
Well, no. All right, let's stop using so much code. The NOI for the longest time has written books about the secret relationship between the blacks and the Jews. This is a controversial book that was written years ago. This is a controversial book that was written years ago, and then it got, the nigga Tony Martin, they tried to hound him out of public life. The same thing that happens to Kanye, everybody. And so, like, as a black person who knows these things, it's a lot deeper than me being mad at some random white boy because he said nigga. Listen, bro, we got so many more serious issues. Let them niggas have it off, bro, because that is not the fight to have. If you're going to get all bent out of shape and crash out about that shit, you're not ready for the real fight.
You crashing.
Yeah, no, well, he teetering on the same things that I was talking about. I didn't understand the bagel shit though. My bad.
Well, because bagels are one of their ethnic brand foods. So
you gotta be from New York.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dead ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I didn't know that neither.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
He's from New York. He's from New York, and he ain't even know that.
Yeah.
Who's from New York? Sharon?
Yeah.
Stop, Sharon.
Stop, they be making them fresh.
No. I refuse to believe that you are from New York City and you didn't know that.
Look, me and Izzy from the same exact neighborhood.
Okay. Okay. I'll wait. Izzy then gave you the Irish goodbye. He ain't even sitting there because there is no way he could sit still for that. That you don't know that
I'm sitting right here.
Indigenous. I'm just gonna ask Iz a question. Yes,
sir.
Do you think it's possible to live as an individual of any ethnicity in New York City and not know whose bread that is the preferred choice of?
What do you mean? You talking about like bread?
Bagels. Who eat bagels in New York? Is
everybody.
Okay.
That might just be an outside phenomenon.
Yeah, everybody eat bagels in New York. Like, that's the thing. Like in the morning, gets a bagels and cream cheese. Like that's the thing.
That very meal. That very meal. Do you know that meal is connected to a particular ethnic group? bagels and cream cheese in particular, and with the salmon and all that too. But
Come on, man.
that meal is very, it's connected to a particular group. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
L'chaim.
And that's how invisible the situation is. You don't even know what you're fucking eating.
L'chaim.
You thought that was just a bagel. No, that's ethnic supremacy.
Absolutely. No.
New York don't rock with that like that.
Hold on, he said eating a bagel with cream cheese and the salmon is supremacy too.
That's not what he's saying.
That's why
that is what he said. That's literally what he just said.
No. Okay, well then let me tell you what I think he might have meant, if I may speak for him. He is speaking about the fact.
And yes, Jeff. I want to hire you as a speechwriter one day. You speak for me very well. Thank you. Please continue.
You need me, bro, because you be getting hung up here. What he is saying is that it's almost like when the scuba diver spoke to the fish. How do you deal with this cold water? And the fish goes, what water? You have been so conditioned to a particular individual's food that comes from them that it has become a default serve. It's almost like when you're acting abnormal, it's because you're acting ab-European. This is why I got behind as much as I was so proud of Allen Iverson for dressing how the hell he wanted to dress. Because the European concept of a suit with a tie was the standard. He bucked that standard, for better or for worse. And I don't think... What's that?
I don't know if that necessarily came from the Europeans.
Okay, let's look it up.
It's not like
we happen to be
ready. Let's look it up right now.
Well, no, I don't mind being wrong, but I don't like wallowing in pretend ignorance if we can all just say.
Hold on, Uncle Jeff. This is the thing. This is the problem, right? New Yorkers have a certain like, for example, right? We eat hot dogs, or we'll have pizza, or everybody eat that, or like a beef patty with cheese, or whatever the case may be, or a Subway. Everybody eat that. That's a bodega. That's a New York. That's New York shit.
Okay.
Everybody eat that.
Okay.
It's not a race. It's not a race.
It's not a race shit. It's New York.
Pizza.
It is a real thing though. It's lox and bagels. And the synagogue gives it out. The synagogues give it out. But I don't, it's not really, I wouldn't, from what I just read, I wouldn't equate it to ethnic supremacy.
Right, it's not, but you gotta realize, you gotta realize in Brooklyn, right, where we're from, it's heavy presences all over. It's a heavy Italian presence on the other side. It's a heavy a little hat presence on one side. It's a heavy Irish presence on another side. It's a heavy Jamaican presence on another side. It's a heavy Caribbean a Puerto Rican presence, a Dominican presence. So you gotta understand, New York is a melting pot. So we like it like the store we call the bodega. That's a Spanish word for the store.
Yeah.
Okay, I understood. I don't know what.
Okay. Well, let me kind of bend this back into it, because this is like dangerous territory for everybody's channel.
Everybody is New Yorker. And
okay, well, I'm gonna pretend I didn't understand. I'm gonna pretend I didn't understand any of that.
Well, we were talking about like black folk in politics and whatnot, and let's look at this melting pot thing, for example, right? How has the melting pot benefited the Black American, the native Black American, the SBA population? Has that melting pot actually been a good thing for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now in 2025.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
The problem is that majority of the country is just not caught up to New York. Over here in New York, we don't have these kind of problems that the rest of the country have.
Yeah,
okay, well, where was Amadou Diallo deleted?
Right, but that's a different time, right? That's a different time.
Police, right? That was a totally different time, and that was the police.
All right, well, let's look at where. Yeah, there's a place, and Chicago's like a little New York. There was a time. There was a time. The same people who drew Chicago drew New York. You don't want to go down this road.
Well, let me tell you firsthand, Uncle Jeff, that I hung out heavy. I got people all over Chicago and people all over New York, and I've been to both, and I've been heavy in both. And Chicago ain't nothing like New York.
It's just different.
Okay,
it's nothing like New York.
Okay. Well, then that would mean if it's nothing like New York, that you cannot get from the uttermost south suburb to the uttermost north suburb on the train. That would mean you could not get from the uttermost east suburb to the uttermost west suburb on the train.
Uncle Jeff, y'all subways are up above. Y'all trains are
let's not city bang. Hold on, because you were about to say you were about to make a point. Let's not city bang.
I was trying. And you're telling me that there are no subways in Chicago, no trains run underground.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that for the most part, most of the trains of New York run underground, and most of the trains of Chicago run above ground. Am I lying about that? Am I wrong about that?
New York and Chicago got too much beef to not even be close to each other. We should beef like this with Philly and Boston. We got always Chicago. Why is it always Chicago, bro?
I love Chicago. Like my people are there. I love Chicago. I wear a Bulls hat all the time. In love for the Chicago. I love Chicago.
My sister do as well, Miss Carter. So, but here's the thing: what me and Izzy is trying to explain is that in this day and age, we don't have that issue of this whole race situation the way how the rest of the country has it.
Okay,
like people don't.
I disagree.
You gotta understand too. For the most part,
nah, that's cap.
For the most part, Brooklyn is heavily. For the most part, Brooklyn is still heavily segregated as well. Like it's like there's been gentrification or whatever. And like, granted, on my block, I seen a white woman running with a dog, which was wild to me. But for the most part, like it's like, most of the boroughs and most of the places in Brooklyn, most of the places in Brooklyn, the towns, cities, whatever the case may be, they are like Canarsie, you're gonna find certain people there. Like Crown Heights, you're gonna find a majority of people there. Like a Flatbush or East New York, you're gonna find a majority.
Let me ask you a question.
So it's kind of people hang with their groups.
Is how many Arab stores did you see when you were a little kid walking around Brooklyn? Because when I was a kid, I remember the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans owned the stores. Now they're all Arabs. They're selling smoke stock. They got Arabs running smoke shops and EBT scams in every store now.
Okay, when I was coming up, there
my whole point is the diversity thing.
Wait, are you asking me or what? I'm confused. Were you just asking me a question?
Good Lord.
Was it a question? I'm legitimately asking. Was that a legitimate
question? Was that a question?
No, the question was how many of these Arab stores did you see growing up? Because we're talking about diversity benefiting Black people, all this melting pot. They're melting you out.
I think it's
rhetorical. But listen, so it was rhetorical because he keeps going. Yeah, he keeps going. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
I got a real question for you though, and this is just I don't know. And this is a very serious question. Did y'all have George Floyd protests in New York?
I wasn't living in New York there. You probably have to ask Sharon.
Yes, they did. At least
he didn't ask you.
You gotta let the New York.
I passed it to Sharon. Like, chill.
Bro, I'm from fucking Brooklyn, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Brooklyn, get the hell out.
Nigga, I'm from Fort Greene. I'm from Fort Greene, nigga. That fucking George Floyd shit. That George Floyd shit was downtown in front of me, nigga. That George Floyd shit was downtown in front of me. Nigga, I'm not repping Chicago. I said stop the city bang. That shit lame.
You believe this nigga?
I don't need you niggas to believe shit. The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm so confused.
Hold on, y'all. One mic.
Gentlemen, I hate to break this. I hate to break this concert of monkeys throwing shit up with facts, but I simply Googled, is there racism in New York? I got a result. Then while you guys were discussing George Floyd protests in New York City, I also got a result. Either one of those results. Now, if you don't want me, I won't put this up. I'll just Google it. Anybody else?
Go ahead and read it, Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, it was. Yes, racism exists in New York in 2025, as it does in other parts of the world. Though specific data isn't available, The long-standing existence of systemic racism is a matter of public record and continues to be a subject of ongoing discussion and concern in the city's diverse communities. State and city laws prohibit discrimination, but reports from the group like the New York Times and initiatives addressing racial inequality indicate that the issue is ongoing.
Okay, so here's a problem with what if you don't live here, you just don't understand how things move out here, right?
Okay.
For the most part, if you see mixed race people dating each other, walking down the street, holding hands, nobody bat an eyelash, nobody staring at you. They don't care if you Asian and black, Indian and yellow. They don't care what race it is. Everybody just go and mind their own business. Celebrities literally walk down the street with you. Spike Lee literally be walking down the street.
Yes.
Nobody even stops him at anything, right? Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan. He's somebody
Absolutely.
he's always in Times Square in his goddamn Flyers car, chilling because everybody go about their goddamn business. Also in New York, you'll see a group of kids that is every race hanging out with each other, playing basketball, roller skating, rollerblading, and doing all types of things.
How many questions?
Explain is that in our city, the race dynamic that y'all have in this that's past us is way different. Like even in Boston is way more racist than what New York City is.
I got you.
And New Jersey is also way more racist than New York City.
Okay.
And as you further go that way, you go to Pennsylvania, it gets even worse. So we don't have that same issue. We don't care about people the same way y'all do.
I think I got it. I think I understand you. Quick question. Is Howard Beach considered New York?
Come on, man. You know it is.
I don't know. No, I don't.
So
again,
if we
it's a yes or no?
No, not in New York. No.
Oh, well then I won't bring up the Reddit.
New York.
Nobody doing that. Because nobody really looks at Howard Beach and say, "Yeah, we going to Howard Beach." Hold on. It's very similar to Far Rockaway. Far Rockaway is New York. Everybody look at Far Rockaway as New York. Far Rockaway is Far Rockaway.
Then that's fair.
Long Island.
Most people think of the main borough.
A lot of people.
Long Island is also New York, but that's Long Island. It's its own thing. Nobody. If you ain't from Howard Beach, you don't hang out at Howard Beach.
Then I agree with you. Because that's what I saw when I stayed in Manhattan. When I stayed in Chelsea, that's what I saw. But to hear, and I see what you're saying with that progressive group of people, but there's a whole bunch of music Public Enemy has to unwrite. There's if you were to be believed, Sharon, and Howard Beach isn't a part of New York, then you're absolutely right. If you are to be believed, Izzy, then I'm gonna suggest you read this this Reddit that I just looked up, and it's a very simple question: Howard Beach, do people still consider it racist? I don't have to read it. I'll leave if I could, I will leave the link in the chat, and it comes down.
Yeah, but Uncle Jeff, that's a small part. That's a small part of.
That's why I asked.
Of New York, but it is New York. In all fairness, but it's a small part of New York.
I heard y'all mention minorities like hanging out. Do like the white tea folks hang out with all these other races, or are they separate from like minorities in New York?
It's a small part of the Italian culture that lives in Howard Beach, and it's pretty much that's Daytown, and that's just what it is. And like nobody and if you used to go over there, you don't want to stay that long anyway because it
sucks.
Yeah.
It's dirty, it's nasty, it sucks. It's not well.
It's not what we think it is.
No, I think what happens in cities, because cities tend to like segregate almost. I don't know if it's as much redlining. I don't know if it's completely redlining. Like there's probably some planning that does go along with it. But what winds up happening either way is you have the black neighborhoods and then you have all these other neighborhoods. And so if you happen to make money and you live in the black neighborhood, eventually you want to live nicer, right? And so now you want to live, which is effectively away from the blacks. So that means you're moving into another neighborhood. And no matter how you feel about the right or wrongness of it, other people are gonna look at like, nah, this is our neighborhood. You niggas need to make your shit nice and stay there. And
Hey,
so that's
Fort
kind
Greene
of
is
the same.
condominiums. Shut up. Fort Greene
on.
is condominiums right now. Shut up.
Hold on. So no. So you're absolutely wrong. So you act as if we don't
What
have.
am I wrong about?
You act like we don't have Jamaica Estates, which is damn near all black neighborhood. I don't understand. I don't. That's crazy coming from a New Yorker. Black folks,
Well, no, you just talking about like Howard Beach, and they don't want you to move there and shit. I'm like, well, it is what it is. Like, it's not about them being right or wrong or racist thing. Everybody kind of feels that way about their little territory.
Right, and also we also had our brownstones in Brooklyn, where now it's gentrified, where we was running rampant, and we had beautiful houses, beautiful brownstones. We always had our own nice neighborhood. This whole idea that all black folks in New York lived in the projects is crazy. This is not true.
That's just not true.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all.
So I think sometimes we get, and this is the problem I have with a lot of black conservatives. Sometimes we get too caught up in just the talking points, and we make it seem like all black folks were just poor in New York City. This is not. It's not.
No. Well, that wasn't the accusation, but we were talking about something like Howard Beach or whatever, and this whole phenomenon of they don't want you in other neighborhoods, and I'm just kind of talking through that. Like that's kind of what's going on.
Right. So we know way back in the days when Spike Lee made it, we had Bensonhurst. And we also had Howard Beach. Those was the two places where it's like, it was dangerous back in those days. But as we move forward into where we at now, none of them places is unsafe. You can go to any one of those places, literally.
Well, you say unsafe as if the ghetto is a safe place. I think you mean it's not as racist. Which makes it less safe technically. Like those are safer neighborhoods in general.
What Uncle Jeff is talking about when Howard Beach was unsafe for black people. It was an unsafe place.
Yeah, you say well, you're talking about racism, and I'm talking about crime overall.
No, but that's not the point that they was making. Hood, you changing the complexion of the conversation.
No, not necessarily. Like, all right, listen. One of the reasons why black folk move away from black folk is because shit be happening around black folk.
No, hold on.
When you move into a less black neighborhood, less things tend to happen.
No. I'm not gonna let you. Hold on.
Listen. There's definitely a money. There's a money issue with that. Like, don't move around poor white folk. But that's generally how it is, bro.
This is not true for New York at all. So again, we have St. Albans as well. St. Albans is another affluent black neighborhood. We also have a neighborhood that's right in the borderline of Long Island and Queens, right before you get to Green Acres. That whole neighborhood is a black neighborhood, and they got nothing but land, no gates, all the grass is kept good, and it's right 10 minutes away from the hood. So no, you are absolutely wrong. You probably just didn't know any well-to-do black people. So that's why
not what he's saying.
What I'm trying to say. So black people, they left. The black people that did good from the projects, and they figured out a way to move up, and they got a MTA job or something of that nature. They started working in
Uncle Jeff, I think I'm gonna have to send you a bill.
Yeah, you might need to tag my hand.
So what I'm saying is that once they started getting better and they got these city jobs and it's able to run it up and run them checks up, they was able to move to affluent black neighborhoods in New York, Queens, Brooklyn. Stop it.
Can I talk?
Uncle Jeff, please consider this a chat.
Okay. I think what Hood Conservative is getting at is the exact. He's basically speaking on my history. When my father started making enough money, we moved to a suburb of Chicago called Maywood. Maywood is where black people moved when they started doing better in their lives. But they moved to Maywood not because a bunch of black folks lived in Maywood. They moved to Maywood because a bunch of white folks lived in Maywood, and it was a nice place to be. And then the white folks left, and black people kept moving there, and that's what made this particular enclave. But to say
called white flight.
Yes, but to say that black people don't go, we got to get our kids out of here now that we make enough money, is not a conversation, is a bit disingenuous.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So in New York, it didn't happen that you went to where the white folks is at. You went to where other well-to-do black folks, like is a certain part in Queens where all the correction officers live.
Right.
It's a certain part in Queens also where in Brooklyn where all the bus drivers work. Like everybody sectioned up, and these are black folks that live where black folks are at, and they didn't have to force white folks to leave.
But Sharon, no. That happened in a process. It was in like the 70s and early 80s when black folk really started flooding in there. Because look, the Irish and the Italian had those jobs on lock for a while. And then a lot of politicking had to take place to get people in. And so now you got black folk in those jobs. And where did they move? Where the Irish and Italians lived when they started making that money, they moved where those guys moved. Which is in Queens, which isn't out in those areas. Like Jeff he's not telling you something untrue. We're just describing the process that you're skipping over.
You might not know, but literally in Queens, they got spots where it's nothing but black folks live there, and that was it, because it was designated for well-to-do black folks. That was it. And that's where they moved to. And it was nothing. It was always black people there. And it's still black people there that own their houses in this part of Queens. We also got Jamaica Estates. It's another part of Queens where it was those are the very well-to-do black folks.
You know what? Then you guys, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you be right about this. Perhaps white flight means something else.
In different states, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Then let's not argue.
So the white flight meant something, Uncle Jeff, in Long Island for us, right? So a lot of black folks started moving to Long Island, and the white folks started moving further towards the Hamptons.
Okay,
that's true.
What I'm trying to tell you is that I have to agree with you that there have been enclaves of that's the problem with integration. It was as if black people wasn't getting down funky on their own.
Right.
Left to their own devices,
and
black people are the shit. So no one is arguing you that the remnants of black people being the shit, and many of us being free even during slavery, being the shit for a very long time, no one's arguing you that. The point is being made, I think, or the point I got, is that Jackie and Kevin got tired of waking up to gunshots right outside of Kevin Jr.'s window. So they moved, and where they moved, a lot of white people lived. That's not, I'm telling you, that's the story for more than 7 black people. And that's the point I think he was making.
I mean that's fair for the projects, but black folks still moved around black folks, and we did pretty well in a lot of the spots in the different boroughs. New York is very funny because you'll be driving through the borough and you'll see the difference of, even like you go to the Caribbean neighborhoods, you'll see it got the Guyanese part, the Jamaican part, the Trinidadian part, all on as you're driving through Flatbush Avenue, for example. You'll see the different cultures just translate throughout the drive, and then you start to see the African cultures come out. You start to see the African restaurants, and so on and so forth. So New York is a very strange place. How closely everywhere has a little version of some kind of group.
Trump about to get rid of all that. Don't worry. Ain't gonna be nothing but potato salad and rain.
If you're looking for prostitutes, you go by Little Asia. And that's where all the prostitutes hang out at, in the Asian part of.
Yo, the new Muslim mayor nigga said, well, he's not new, but he's trying to be the mayor. He said he want to make prostitution legal or something in New York now.
Oh,
he's spot on. Well, it's because
Mom Donnie there.
Get all these details laid.
Prostitution destroys families, and nothing could be better for black people than that. We need the family destroyed.
Why do we need the family destroyed?
Hear me out. Okay.
You that. Let me send you.
Hear me out. Conscious moron. This is who your family is. Your family is a group of people who decided to fuck another group of people, make some kids, and they didn't ask you shit. That's who they are when you really look at them. This is why the Bible says a friend sticks closer than a brother, because you didn't pick your brother. You pick your friends. Your parents, Conscious. Your parents didn't pick your brother. They rolled the genetic dice and out popped Tank Tank. They didn't pick him.
Brother's nickname is
So here's what's happening right now, Brother Conscious.
I don't need another timeout, man.
Family. Dude, please don't, because this is very important. Real talk. Look up the term family. It means a group of workers, bruh. Look it up. Look, everything I'm saying is look upable right now.
But Jeff,
it's look upable right now.
That make that family bond even closer, like, because those are the people who like you grow up with, and
yes,
bond, like even.
Yes,
but I'm saying even though my sister might get on my everlasting nerves, I know she's doing it out of love. Compared to, I don't know if my friend doing this to be jealous or he got an angle on me. I mean, I guess you can say the same thing with your brother.
You can say the same thing with
your
family.
Well, here's the shortcut, brother. Do you see everything in society becoming binary? You got to be on one side or the other. Jab or don't take it.
There's no more nuance.
Republican, Democrat. Yes, the divides are becoming very clear and very binary, and they're cutting families in half. Those of you who you know in your family ain't shit, it's time to let them niggas go. You have to deal with tribe, brother.
Damn, the people. That means my family letting me go.
No. Well, then you need to get your shit together, or be with the other niggas that ain't got their shit together.
Hey, wait.
Hold on. And I just want to let Java know I said Guyana, not Ghana. See, that's how I know. You ain't never been in New York. I said Guyana, not Ghana.
Yeah.
Uncle Jeff, why didn't you just say become a separatist instead of going through all that?
I don't think because and I agree with you, Slimmy. I agree with you.
You don't have to say get rid of families, because you still gotta have family. Even as a separatist, you still have to have some form of family, dog.
That was a crazy point.
That was
I want to know
but y'all not listen.
I do not endorse everything my speechwriter says, by the way.
Okay. Can I have 2 more minutes?
You even got hood pause.
Bro.
God damn.
I have 2 more
That's a
minutes.
bridge too far.
You know what?
Can I have 2 more minutes? Yes or no?
Yes. So look, it's 8:53. It's about my bedtime. We're gonna start with Uncle Jeff. Go ahead with your final thoughts, and we're gonna go around like that. Go ahead.
Okay. Black people, when you get a chance, I want you to look up the term family. It comes from the root word familus, which means group of workers. Back in the day, when you heard the King of England wasn't finna do all that work. So he had lords and earls doing the work. These people were called landlords. Those landlords had house bonds working for them. That's where the name husband comes from. That dude went and found a wife, took her in, and all she could do is make kids. She couldn't help him.
Quick question, Jeff. What's that language? What language?
Well, I believe the root word is Latin. I believe it's Latin. That dude, all he could do with this woman is make babies. She couldn't help him. Do you know what that group was called? A family, a group of workers that live under a landlord to work the land. You don't come from that. You come from tribes. This is why on your way home from school, if you're old enough, you could get your ass whooped 3 times for the same offense, because the whole tribe was of a same thinking. A family is not necessarily thinking the same way. The only way you are going to survive is to make a tribe of those who think like you. And I'll leave it right there. Do your own fucking homework.
In other words, be a separatist. I mean, you're right though.
No, that's apples and bowling balls. They're not the same.
Guess
Hey Jeff, you want to talk about this tribe thing? Because here's my contention. I want to debate something with you. If you got a minute, in like the next 20 minutes, we can start a new show.
Okay, I don't know. This is Sharon.
No, I'm pitching the idea to you. We'll take it to my channel because I'm on my way home and I'm gonna set it up in a few minutes. But my argument is that tribe is a more primitive setup than the Famalus, as you described. And I would like to actually leave it there and debate that point with you later if you want to.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Okay, so we got a debate tonight, y'all. Hood Conservative and Uncle Jeff is gonna have a dope conversation about.
I'm like 20 minutes. I'm like 20. Give me like 30 minutes, y'all. Give me like 30 minutes.
Okay, and
awesome.
I'm gonna try to simulcast this. This is the first Giraffe Balls. I'm gonna bring it back tonight.
That's what's up. I like that. I like how we build it here. Shout out to Hood Conservative and
hold on. Giraffe? What? I don't know if I'm comfortable with this.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I feel so uncomfortable already.
Screenwriter.
I don't know if that's low hanging fruit or not.
No, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That was funny as hell.
Okay.
You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, it was good to see you and Iz on a panel. Very peaceful though, man. You know, I like seeing that. Hopefully we can get one more up here and it be peaceful. You know who I'm talking about, but you know,
that's why we wasn't gender warring, bro. No gender war.
It's good to see you streaming because I ain't seen you streaming in so long. So it was just good to see you online, bro. I appreciate you for always having me up, man. We don't always see eye to eye, but I love it when we do, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So like, I just appreciate you, man. I'm glad you keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep on, man. Keep on keeping on, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you. ADS, you there? Or you sleep?
Yeah.
What's your final thoughts, sir?
Good show, Sharon. Now, I am a little shocked that we ain't seen no sisterhood back up here since you've been back up. Ain't been no Bomb Cherry, ain't been no Tiffocracy, ain't been no Tit for Tat. And we know we miss Diva. We miss Diva. We miss you, Diva. Wherever you at, baby, come back. Come back.
All right, now watch what you ask for.
That's when I leave the premises. That's when I get out of here, bro.
Hey, Conscious Moron, you got any final thoughts?
Great show as always, man. Great topic. Everybody just remember to always try and learn something new, like Granddad said.
Appreciate you. We got a late comer. Welcome to the show, Conservative J. What's your final thoughts, Conservative J? He's the youngster.
About the Trump versus President. What's Trump doing?
Exactly.
I just tuned in. No, I just tuned in, bro.
You're late. We just finished it. We just finished the show. You late, bro. You gotta be on time.
They don't be sending out your notifications.
Damn, they got me on the block. Hey, we still hit $150 today, so that's still good. But yeah, we gotta make sure all of our notifications are on. It seems like I'm still gotta fight through some YouTube politics. It's all good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to write to somebody, tell them like, hey,
it's gonna be live tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow.
All right, I'll try to be on it early tomorrow.
Maybe you should try and post it earlier, like when you gonna go live. Try and post it. Somebody told me to start doing that. Try and do like at least 4 hours before you do anything. Try and post it ahead, just so the algorithm can kind of play with it.
All right, and I just want everybody to always remember one last.
Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.